Welcome to The Wizard of Radical Self-Respect. My name is Jared Mello, and I'm the shepherd of Black Sheep. To my right here is my buddy, my right-hand man, Shadow the Night Owl. He is the mascot and the spirit animal of the channel. He helps me watch over the flock of Black Sheep and Black Sheep Nation. And with that, thank you also for all the support that we've been getting so far. There's been a lot of new folks, and to all of you, welcome. Shadow and I certainly welcome you to the channel here. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the text message exchange between Mackenzie and her father. And there's only going to be Moms for Justice had 2 episodes of it. The other one, episode 2, was taken down briefly, so we'll see if we can get to that one too. Vake, what's shaking, my man? Hello there, Danielle. And to clear up some things from yesterday, Mackenzie does have a little sister named Danielle. And it's very telling, actually, that no one talks about her. You would never know. You would never know by the way Mackenzie talks or her parents she would even have a little sister. Again, that just reiterates the fact Mackenzie is a golden child, and her little sister Danielle, more than likely a scapegoat, maybe an invisible/lost child. There is one phone call between Mackenzie and her mother where the mother mentions that she had to take away the bedboards in Danielle's bed because Danielle was hiding food in there and it was starting to smell. Weird kind of story, right? But again, if she's a scapegoat/invisible child, then it would make sense. And to reiterate this also, when I made that shorts video earlier about Mackenzie being narcissistic, maybe even psychopathic, that is not a diagnosis, by the way. I said very clearly that is my opinion, not a diagnosis. Narcissistic is not a diagnosis, nor is psychopathic. And another thing to clear up, personality disorders can be diagnosed by a licensed professional before the age of 18. The only one that is not true for is antisocial personality disorder. You have to be 18 to be diagnosed with that. But this idea that you can't be diagnosed with a disorder before the age 18, poppycock. Poppycock, that is. So again, that doesn't mean that psychologists and other licensed professionals are going to be throwing around those diagnoses willy-nilly, but technically, there is no age requirement. And again, I think Mackenzie's mother, she sounds to me to be borderline-ish. She seems to be the one that wants to be best friends, besties with her daughter. And why might that be? Well, maybe if the mother has a fear of abandonment, she doesn't want Mackenzie to leave her. She always wants to be her friend. Yeah, that could certainly be a part of it for sure. The other thing I was hearing was people were saying Mackenzie has borderline because how she would try on different roles, whether it was Regina George from Mean Girls or the kind of drug-dealing boss bitch girl. And I would say, remember this, narcissists as well, they don't have a core self. So they can easily morph into other roles as well. It's not just borderlines that do that. Borderlines do it too, don't get me wrong. But it's not just borderlines that do. But I think that between mother and daughter, there is some enmeshment going on there, and a form of parentification as well. Enmeshment, of course, is when the boundaries are blurred between the two of them. And both of them enable Mackenzie's behavior. They don't have boundaries with her, and they don't enforce consequences. And that's the biggest thing with this, too. You're going to see this in the text exchange between Mackenzie and her father. He tries to stand up to her. The issue is he never puts his foot down and doesn't enforce consequences when she refuses to listen. That's the big thing. And let's not get it twisted either. It is not easy to have a daughter like Mackenzie. It's just not. So parents that don't have a child like Mackenzie, they would say, oh, I would just do this. I would just do that. And I would say, well, you say that, but you're not having to experience their tantrums and their entitlement, etc. And then some people would say, well, they only have those because of the parents. And I would say, I just think there's some inherent traits that are out there. Most people are not going to have a daughter like Mackenzie. So the issues that her parents are running into, and granted, her parents absolutely have their own issues, as I'm going to go over, but it's just not as simple as some people are going to make it seem. But it's difficult. it is very difficult to deal with a child like Mackenzie because once you have boundaries and try to enforce consequences, it might get to the point where you have to cut off your own daughter at a point if she doesn't listen. The same would apply to a son as well. They get to a certain point, the only thing left to do is cut them off. I mean, it's a tragic thing, but it's certainly a thing. Let's see here. Jackie, welcome to you, Jackie. I'm very glad you're here. Nanny Goat. What's shaking? Rooster found OC girl. She's in our favorite place. Ha! But can't comment before she got in trouble. Well, she wouldn't get in trouble here, Rooster. Danielle said, if I went to jail for what Mackenzie did, my parents would scream and yell, what embarrassment. I am, but my twin sister did the same thing. They would rally around her and put money on her books. What does that sound like, Danielle? It sounds exactly like what Mackenzie's parents are doing for her. And I wouldn't be surprised if Danielle, her little sister, not you, Danielle, but Danielle, her little sister, if she were to do the same things Mackenzie did, I don't think her parents would have her back in the same way. Again, that speaks to the toxic family system they have going on there. And I'm not sure the dynamic between Steve and his wife, Natalie. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. I only know what's going on in how they relate to Mackenzie. And how they relate to Mackenzie is enabling, being pushovers, and ultimately giving in. And enabling her poor behavior too, whether it's spending a lot of time with that boyfriend at a young age, letting him sleep in her bed at a young age, being okay with booze and other drug use. I mean, not very good. Not very good. Auntie, Autumn, welcome everyone. And as you come in here, please remember to like the video because likes are free. Spank the like button. Leave your DNA of choice on the like button. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend or five about the flock of black sheep here. We got a great bunch. And super chats, super stickers, and becoming a channel member. Great ways to support the channel. They help me pay for Shadow the Night Owl soy-free Hootie snacks. We put leftovers in the Hootie Snack 500. That's our retirement fund. And when you're a member, you get access to the members-only live streams where we have a Chill&A and a Q&A. We do those once a week. And thank you very much for all of the support I've been getting so far. And if you're lurking out there, welcome. Say hello to the flock of black sheep here. I think as we talk about this case, there's a group of new people that might be coming in here. I know in the video that I did yesterday, there was a group of new people. We had some spirited folks come in there. A lot of people were saying, Mackenzie has a little sister. And there was some debate whether it was older or younger, but it is a little sister. So I'm glad the people were out there. They know their stuff. They know their stuff. Sikorsky, what is shaking? So, someone needs to recruit Danielle S. to the flock. You know what, Auntie? That's a great idea, actually. Nope, it's under lock and key, Rooster. Our Hootie Snack Fund is under lock and key. But that's a great idea, though, by Auntie to find Danielle S. Not our Danielle, but the other Danielle. And say, you know what? We should be, now granted, I don't know how old she is, so that could be a part of the issue, but welcome her to the flock of black sheep and say, you know what? We get it. We get the dynamics with your sister and your parents. There's many people here that can relate to you. You're not alone here. I don't know how your parents make you feel, but here you would be welcome. So Danielle S out there, you are welcome here. Sharilas, Danielle Sharilas. And no one should be harassing her out there, by the way. I would be concerned about that. Shadow and I would not like that one bit. So please don't do that. But all right, let's hop into this. And this is Moms for Justice. And I actually did do this myself too. I got the information about text messages and other court docs that are coming to me. I requested them today. So I won't need to play other channels as much, but I didn't get them yet. So hence, we're going to be watching Moms for Justice thing here. I like her lighting. Shadow says, Jared, you should ask her how she does the lighting because I kind of like the lighting there.
money off social media still is absolutely disgusting, and I don't support that. I can think of one right now that has 1 million followers, right? And she probably thought when she appeared on the crash that she would be loved by all. And, ooh, I'm going to get all these followers, right? And that backfired. It backfired on her. Yes, it backfired on you, my friend. And my advice to you, if you're listening and you know who you are, is to make it right. Come forward. I know you got to know more than what you said. You got to. You can't be friends with this girl with everything we know about her and act like she's some innocent little sweetie pie. I'm sorry. It ain't going to fly. And your only option is to continue to side with the villain or come forward and tell the truth. So please do that. There is no way in heck anyone is going to believe that you didn't know anything.
Okay. And Moms for Justice, she keeps it real about Mackenzie. She certainly calls out her behavior. And to note also, I noticed on one of my shorts, there was a couple of people getting upset that I had said Mackenzie's narcissistic, maybe even psychopathic. And they said, what are you, a grown-ass man saying that about a girl? It's like, dude, on this channel, we criticize everybody. Like Danielle said, whether it's Nick Reiner, Brian Hooker, Michael McKee, regardless of age, we're going to call out everybody if they deserve it. It doesn't matter to me in Shadow whether they're a man or a woman. We call them all out. So I do try to truly keep it fair here. The integrity part's important to me, and I treat them the same. We're talking about this right now because this is a popular topic. The crash is very popular this last week, and a lot of people talking about it. So we're talking about it as well. And it's given us the opportunity to, one, talk about toxic family systems. Two, how can you deal with a child like Mackenzie if you're her parents? Entitled behavior, spoiled behavior, controlling behavior, emotional blackmail. It's just giving us an opportunity to talk about all this, the roles in the toxic family system. So that's the beneficial part. It's the same thing we did when it came to Nick Reiner, right? They gave us an opportunity to talk about mental health, addiction, personality disorders, all that. That was very helpful too, in my opinion. So I wanted to make sure I got that cleared up.
Okay. And yes, there's a couple minions out there led by Miss Natalie that have formed like a free Mackenzie page on Facebook, and it's led by the mother. She started the whole thing, and we know this because on the calls there was all these giggling. Oh, you got people support. You know, let me tell you something. The majority of the world is not supporting her. It's not. So do the right thing. All you minions still out there. But today's about Steve. So let's start. These are text messages, guys, between Steve and Mackenzie. I'm going to read them to you. I will show them to you as well. And they start on...
And Danielle, you know what it is, right? What it is, and again, it goes both ways. There are some people that if they see a guy criticized, they're going to be a little sensitive, maybe if they're a guy. There's other women, if they see a woman criticized, especially if they're younger, they might get a little bit sensitive. So that's just reality. And you see that in other forms too, whether it's race, religion, fill in the blank. It's just, part of human nature at a point. But Shadow and I try to use that as an opportunity to practice our emotional self-control. Try to kill them with kindness a little bit. But what you also notice too, though, is they're not really interested in that a lot of times. They're not interested in having a productive conversation and collaborating. It's more about, for them, airing their grievances. And so it is what it is. You can't talk them out of it if that's what their end goal is. So here are the text messages between Mackenzie and her father.
January 4th, 2020, and some of them are kind of...
January 4th, 2020 is when they start. So that's 6 years ago. It's a while ago now.
Hilarious at times. Okay. So she writes, are you up? She writes, is mom up? Can I stay till 2:30? She writes, Dad. Mackenzie writes, can you make me warm milk? He writes back, sorry, just seeing this. You still want milk? Mackenzie says, can you answer? Can you make me warm milk? Can you make me warm, Nikki? I don't know what that's about. And then she wrote milk. Okay, she corrects herself. So she's asking again, make me. So this girl, okay, so I guess she's 15 at the time, is asking daddy to make her warm milk.
Yeah. It's a good question there. That's a good question, Amanda. Do you think milk is a code word, or do you think it's actually milk? Now, for those who don't know, Richard Pryor had that bit in the 70s. Milk and cookies meant crack and something else. So it's certainly possible that this version of milk means something else. Maybe it's alcohol. Let's see. Let's see if we can unravel this.
Dad says, okay. Thanks. When you come in, be quiet. Yeah. Telling her dad, you better be quiet. Okay. Dad says, so she had sent a screenshot. The dad sent her a screenshot of a hamburger from school. You know, the school cafeteria hamburgers are really crappy, right? He writes, worst hamburger ever. She goes, ew. He writes, one of the kids wasn't eating it, so I asked why. He said they're terrible, so I tried one and he was correct, and then some. LOL. She writes, what the F is that?
And some of how she's talking to her dad, it just subcommunicates disrespect. She doesn't respect him. And it's clear in how she talks to him. Because this is a great example of, remember that post I made? Sometimes it's not about what they're doing. It's just that they wouldn't do those same things to someone they really respected. I get that hint. I get that idea when I listen to these texts here. She wouldn't say this to somebody that she really respected. Now, granted, that list of people she really respects might be very, very small for all I know.
Don't know. It's a picture of her hand holding something. I don't know what that is. Oh, she's holding a seed. So she writes, seed. He writes, you be careful. Watch what you drink and smoke. Call me first if there is problems so I can come help. And I'm going to be blowing through these. So if you guys could follow along with the dates. Can you guys see the dates? This is 2020. So that would make her 15 years old, guys. He said, remember, she's 15. You be careful. Watch what you drink and smoke. Call me first if there is a problem so I can come help. Yep, 15 years old.
Watch what you drink and smoke when they're 15. So at best, they're being extremely lenient with drug and alcohol use. At best. At worst, neglectful and just not caring.
She goes, okay. XOXO. He writes, you are not to spend any night at the boys' house ever. This will never happen again. So clearly we're missing a context here. Something terrible happened between them. This is probably him.
All right, so she sleeps over at a guy's house, and she's a teen at this point. The dad's trying to put his foot down and be assertive. But let's see how it unravels here. Let's see how it goes. And I'll tell you what I think he should have done.
Yeah, 9:17 a.m. So it's the next morning after something terrible happened. And he's saying he's actually reprimanding her here. This will not happen again. He writes, are we clear? She goes, when are you going to be home? This is now a couple days later. Dad writes, any idea when you'll be done? I'm picking you up. This is a couple days after that. She wrote, soon. Then she goes, come now. He writes, okay. Hurry, I'm in pain. He writes, here. Then he writes, out front. Hey, call my cell when you're done, okay? Not house phone. Now it's a couple days later, I think. No, it's the same night. She goes, okay. Can you rub my feet? I thought that was really interesting.
Eh, again, how old is she at this point? 14 or 15?
Very bizarre. He writes, I do love you, and I did not say anything about Dom when you were leaving with mom. Please let them help you at the hospital. So I'm assuming that she was taken to the hospital. He writes, come home, please. I love you. Your choice. This is on the 27th now. So I figured out from this when I was reading it that she had left home for a couple days and they didn't know where she was. So he's writing, come home, please. I love you. Your choice. Then he goes, when are you coming home? Same night. You're not going to be in trouble or get punished, he says.
So he's almost placating her with this. You're not going to get in trouble or be punished. Again, it depends. It depends on what she's doing here. Like, on one hand, I can understand wanting to keep open lines of communication between you and your daughter, but there's a big difference when the daughter is taking advantage of that and disrespecting you and basically doing whatever she wants and treating you like a doormat. That's a different scenario. When that scenario is in play, you got to make sure your children respect you. I mean, as a dad, if your children don't respect you, I mean, you're not doing your job. Something went off the rails there. And granted, yeah, kids can be angsty, especially in their teenage years, but even so, you don't want this kind of worst case scenario to happen. You can argue this is one of the worst case scenarios. What Mackenzie did, crashing into a brick wall, killing 2 people, that's a pretty damn awful scenario, is it not?
That's a problem. Then he writes, just come home. Same night. She wrote 6:30. And then he wrote, okay. Now we're in April. She goes, will you make me warm milk? I'm sorry, but it's like so weird. Just saw this. Do you still want? Then she writes, no. Then he writes, sorry, my phone was dead. Guys, there's stuff in here. You just hang out with me here. Some of the stuff. Yeah, this is to her father. She wrote, Dad, can I sleep over Dom's tonight? I won't ask for a while. I just want a night with friends.
Interesting to note she's calling Dom a friend, her romantic partner. I mean, parents out there, I'm not a parent, but if your daughter was 14 or 15, would you be letting her sleep over a boy's house at 14 or 15? Probably not, right?
Please let me tonight. It will make me really happy. Please, Dad, I just want a night away from home. He wrote, no. Okay, I'm proud of you, Steve. Good job. Then he wrote, sorry.
Okay, that was good. That's a little bit of assertiveness there. Let's see.
Don't argue about it. It's a no. Please let me, Dad. Ken's, I'm not doing this with you. Sorry. The answer is no. Please just accept my wishes and do what your mother and I say, please. Don't turn this into anything that causes me to come and get you now, okay? I mean, where is she anyway? Oh, I guess she's at Dom.
So again, I mean, some of what he's doing there is good, but then he's also using some of that emotional blackmail there too, like a little bit of a threat, like, don't do this or I'm going to come get you. It's like, just keep it to the assertiveness, I think, and keep it at that.
Mom's probably and asking if she could spend the night. Okay. Then now this is the next day. Can you get me spray paint? Blue, hot pink, and purple. Like right now, please. Can you make me warm milk?
What is this warm milk reference? It's got me so curious now. Let's do a poll. That's it. Let's do a poll. Making warm milk. Is it really what it looks like? Making warm milk. Press 1 if you think it's really warm milk. Press 2 if you think it's a code word for maybe booze Or what else could it even possibly be a code word for? I'm struggling to think of something. But what do you think, chat? Does milk really mean milk? Or two, does it mean something else?
Oh my gosh. Don't forget to like this video, guys. Again, can you make me milk? This is 2 days later. 3 days later. Can you make me milk again? He writes, K. She goes, can you do it now? Can you make me milk?
And again, context clues. Mackenzie and her mother have that gibberish language too, whether it's Pig Latin or something else. So they're not above using codes. Would it be any different for her to be using codes with her dad? Probably not. It's just a matter of what it means. I'm not sure what it means. What are your guesses out there? Open-ended question. What do you think milk means in this context?
This is the next day again. This is on the 9th. So that's like 3-4 times that week. Text me when it's done. I'll come back. Then he writes, why would you leave? It's done. She writes, I want to spray paint. I'm with people now. When I tell you to wait, thanks. On the 13th, 3 days later, can you make me hot cocoa? This girl can't do crap for herself, huh? He goes,
so I don't know if Moms for Justice even mentioned the possibility for codes, but maybe hot cocoa is something different than milk. Shadow's spidey senses are tingling. How about that?
Sorry, just saw this, so obviously missed the boat on that one. Can you bring me tanning oil? I forgot it. So obviously she's not in the house, and she wants her dad to get
Moms for Justice is real. But basically, so Mackenzie is very demanding of her father, regardless of what milk, hot cocoa means, demanding for tanning oil. What does it sound like? Entitled? Spoiled? Bratty? This is how golden children can act if they get out of hand. And they're running the show. I think the difference is with a lot of narcissistic families, the narcissistic parents are still running the show. But in this dynamic, that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like Mackenzie's running the show, and her parents are kind of just placating her, giving in. And it seems like they don't have the power somehow. It seems like Mackenzie has the power. And honestly, some of that is just, I think Mackenzie has a dominant personality, and I don't think her parents know how to deal with it. And again, her parents have their own issues as well. Don't get me wrong. I think they're out of control, just in a different way.
tanning oil and bring it to wherever she is. How far? In other words, how far away are you? Then she sends an attachment that looks like, I don't know what that is, and I don't really want to wait. Hold on. She's sending a bunch of pictures over here. I'll have to pull those up after. Okay. All right. On the 27th of June, 2020, she writes, can you make me more stencils, but out of cardboard? Please let mom buy it. Please let mom buy it, she said. Then she sends, she's sending a Google.
Now that's the $1 million question there, Aunt or Miss Amanda F. Miss Amanda says, do you think that if she was reined in early, she could have turned out any different? I would say a little bit, but I think also her inherent traits were her inherent traits. Maybe she could have learned to rein some of her worst impulses in, but I think the core of who she is the core of who she is. After that, it's about behavior modification and trying. That's what a therapist would do with her. That's what a counselor would do. That's what a clinical psychologist would do. They would work on maybe DBT, CBT, uh, maybe even possibly EMDR. But for someone like Mackenzie, a trauma therapy, I don't think would even be sufficient. And I get it. What I'm saying is a little bit controversial because it boils down to how much do you think environment plays a part? Now, you know what people like Dr. Salerno and I would say? Combination of nature and nurture. But I agree with him that I think people have inherent traits, and that's their startup material. And any parent can tell you their children can be different from the start. Some are introverts, some are extroverts, some are more dominant, some are more passive. And again, I just don't think parenting is the only explanation to explain those differences. I think from the start, they have those differences. And Dr. Salerno describes it as an introvert is more than likely to gravitate towards environments that feel comfortable and safe for them as an introvert. And he says people with the other startup material that might be narcissistic, etc., they do the same things. They gravitate towards environments that are comfortable for what they are already used to. So to me, that makes sense. I fully acknowledge maybe not everyone agrees with that. But, and again, I can say that, and that doesn't mean I think environment plays no part. It certainly plays a part. And I think her parents did her a disservice for sure by not enforcing boundaries and consequences. So her parents, once they have a child like her, you got to do what you can. It's not like, okay, just surrender. There's nothing you can do. No, you try to be the best version of yourself as a parent. You try to learn. You try to put your foot down, enforce consequences. It's not going to be easy. Certainly not going to be easy, but what other options do you have? Not much, in my opinion. You just got to do it.
Link to something like to give him an idea of what she wants. And this is now in July. He goes, be careful tonight and don't roll your eyes and say, oh my God, I know. She goes, okay. Have fun. Love you, he says. She writes, I love you too. Then he writes, everything going okay? Yes. Did you fix the pic? This is now a couple days later. I need you to fix it ASAP. I'm trying to.
And that's just the attitude that's so spoiled and entitled. Can any of you imagine talking to your parents like that? Like they're the ones in charge? Like the kid's acting like I'm in charge. I need you to do this ASAP. I could hardly even imagine saying that, honestly. Now, I acted out in my own ways, but I didn't do it directly for sure because I would have probably gotten whooped. I would have gotten whooped if I talked like this to my parents.
Post it. He writes, did you send it to me? Have not seen it. She goes, I sent it to mom. He writes, hold on, she's looking. Then she sends the pictures, I guess, again, attaches them and sends them over. She writes, there. Make those lighter. He goes, tomorrow, promise. She writes, don't you have a sticker printer? He goes, kind of. She writes, thanks, Dad, love you. Then she sends a TikTok link, I think to herself. So this is proof that he's seeing her TikToks. Can you make me these? He writes, yes, I can make anything. And she writes, I want those skeleton legs on a pair of my pants. This is October 15th.
This dynamic, you know what it reminds me of? Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, the woman that gets turned into the purple blueberry and how she was with her dad. That woman is like Mackenzie. Now, Mackenzie is a 2026 kind of out of control version of that, but the same dynamic is at play where the guy would just kiss his daughter's butt. Anything for my baby girl, anything for my girl, the best for her. And they got her the golden ticket because she couldn't stand to not get her way. But that's why she lost. That's why old Willy Wonka would say, that's why you lose. Good day, sir. And that's why I guess Charlie is the one that won, right? Because he didn't have those character defects that all the other ones did, whether it was gluttony, entitlement, what were the other issues they had, the kids. I can't remember what they were, but that's the dynamic that was at play. These dynamics, they transcend generations.
In 2020, obviously she's planning Halloween. It's not the Halloween you think it is. That was the 2022 pictures, but no, obviously she's planning a Halloween costume. So then she writes, Dad, can you make milk? He wrote, sorry, I was already asleep when you sent this. Sorry. She writes this is a couple days later, and now she's not even asking. She's just writing milk. Then a question mark. Okay. Or not.
But like Shadow says, got milk?
He must have not answered her. Now she's sending him TikToks. Here's one. You want weed peanut butter? He writes back, no, LOL. I don't like to eat my weed.
So milk's probably not weed if they're willing to talk about weed like that. Process of elimination.
She goes, I'm going to give you a little. Guys, let's take note of the date. November 28th, 2020. That makes her 15 years old. And she's saying, I'm going to give you some weed peanut butter. And he responds with, I don't like to eat my weed, implying that he prefers his weed the other way, right? On December 27th, she goes, are you making me milk? Dad. Then 2 days later, she writes, Dad, are you home? He writes, why? Are you okay? Now we are on, was that the same day? 12th? Yeah, same day. She sends a link to a TikTok. I think it's a TikTok or it's some sort of video. And there she sends another one. Get mom this. Okay, so you know what? This is obviously probably Christmas present idea. And then she wrote, from Glass House. He goes, bye. Tell mom not to look. She goes, I don't have any money. They close at 6. He goes, get it from mom. She writes, I have no money. Can you get it, is what she's meaning to say. And then she writes, Dad, question mark. He goes, you have 10 minutes to get home or I will call the police myself. So now we're 4 days after Christmas, 12/29/2020. This is a new day now after the present talk. He says, you have 10 minutes to get home or I will call the police myself. And this is at 12:40 p.m. This is in the afternoon. So she must have been gone for a while and hasn't responded. That's what I'm speculating here. She goes, I'm finishing up on a nail appointment. I'll be home soon. He writes, I would leave now. How disrespectful you are. I told you you were not allowed to drive. You will not be driving at all.
All right. Maybe the most assertive thing I've heard him say in this entire exchange. How disrespectful you are. I told you you were not allowed to drive. You will not be driving at all. There's actually good assertive language because for example, when you're supposed to be telling no to someone, if you're working on your assertiveness, because maybe you've struggled with being a people pleaser, you shouldn't say, I can't do that. You will say, I will not do that. I will not leaves no room for a debate. Some people that are pushy and manipulative, they hear you can't, and they'll say, well, why can't you? And they'll try to turn it into a debate. So I will not be doing that, or I won't do that is more assertive language than I can't. Just a friendly tip about boundaries from Shadow and myself.
Very telling. Issue with her driving. I will come get you or any of your friends. No questions asked. Please don't drive around tonight. Be careful. Tell the boy the same. Love you. Okay, love you too. He writes, tell us you are all right as soon as you see this. Now it's January. And then she writes, we up. So she spent the night somewhere. That's definitely New Year's Day. So she went out and spent the night New Year's Eve. She writes, at Dom's. Happy birthday, Dad. Love you. He writes, thanks, baby. Will you make me warm milk, please? Wait a minute. Is that on his birthday? Oh my gosh. She asks February 13th, 2021. She says, happy birthday to him. He says, thank you. And on the same day, she's asking him on his birthday to make her some warm milk, please. And then she writes, okay, now it's a new day, the 20th. Are you home? Can you please try to book me a massage sooner than 7? I have a birthday party that I have to leave for at like 6. Mom is telling me to book it when, first of all, I never even talk to adults and I have no money and I don't drive. Are you kidding me? People, you got to teach your children to speak to adults, to learn how to communicate with people, to make phone calls, make appointments, things like that. Mom is telling me to book it when, first of all, I never even talk to adults. Unbelievable. Then she writes, are you okay? He goes, yes, I'm okay. Feel like I have a cold. Okay, this is on the 3rd of March. Okay, to be honest.
The 3rd of March is my birthday. School of Pisces, Pisces gang shout out.
You need weed. Then she writes, I'm worried. So, you know what that tells me? Could be she's worried about COVID. He writes, LOL, no, don't be worried. I actually feel good, just irritated that I got it and I have to quarantine for 10 days. Okay. She goes, yeah, that's gay as F.
Oh.
COVID, some BS. You shouldn't have taken the test. Kendra has hella tests. Hi, Dad. I hope you're feeling okay and your test goes well. And she sends an attachment of her. He writes, nice picture. There's nothing nice about her pictures, guys. Nothing. Okay, here we go. She sends an attachment of a dog. I don't know if it's a video or not, but we're just doing the text messages today. Cammy misses you, she says. Of course he does. He's my dog, Dad said. He writes, do you have any Hershey bars? She goes, I do. He goes, don't have. Want to give one?
Where's a Hershey bar? You think it's like weed brownies or something? A Hershey bar?
She writes, the food is here. Okay, so she ordered food. He writes, thanks. Want me to bring it up? No, I'll be down. Could Dom move his car so I can get out? Thanks. The dad writes. She writes, come get his keys. He goes, never mind. Thanks. She writes, you're getting me from school, right? Yes. What time? He says. She writes, 2:25 is when school's out. Ask Mom when to leave. Because traffic is usually bad. He writes, I'm here, second row, left of the doors. Music will be blasting. LOL. So he was the cool dad with the blasting music and the pot smoke. She goes, LOL, okay. Send a pic. If your view. He goes, I'm next to an orange SUV. Find the orange SUV. She wrote, Dom will drive me tomorrow to Polaris. I have a ride home from Polaris. He goes, okay.
Polaris, I think.
Okay. Bring my iPad when you get me.
That's the bossy demanding. Very bossy and demanding.
Where is it? He said. In my room, she said. I'm coming. I'm here. Do I need to sign you out? Okay, I'll come. She wrote, give me 5. Where are you parked? Dad writes, thanks, baby. Oh, this is a new one. Oh, no, it's not. It's the same. Thanks, baby. I had fun today with you. Okay, so this is at night. So he checked her out early, I guess, and they went and did something together. So then later on around 7:30, he writes, thanks, baby. I had fun today with you.
I mean, would it be any different if he was talking to like a girlfriend or his wife? Kind of talks to her like he's talking to his wife or something.
She writes, or was fun. I'm always down to eat. Now we are on same day at 10:14 at night. Picking you up 10. I'll text you when I get there. I'm here, he writes. She wrote, milk is cold as F. I'm going to drink it, but it's not warm. He writes, bring it down. How about come down yourself and heat it up? Poor guy has to make all this milk. She goes, can you go in my room and see if I have any mannequin heads in there? Because mine is missing. He writes, okay. There are 2 white foam heads with wigs on them. That's all I saw, he said. Do I need to pick you up? See, okay, I'm just going to stop right here for a second, guys. There's a part of me that feels like he's like I feel bad for him. Like he's a poor schmuck, but then I don't feel bad for him because he had a responsibility that he didn't take on. And, who knows? Maybe he was like, maybe his wife was abusive to him. Who knows? I don't know, but this is just really bad, really bad. Guys, if you're just joining me and you are on here right now, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. I would really appreciate your support.
Okay. Also, please remember to like this video here too. Spank the like button because likes are free. Leave your DNA of choice in the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Say hello to the flock of black sheep in the live chat here. And as always, super chats, super stickers, and becoming a channel member or gifting channel memberships. Great ways to support the channel. Understand also, if you gift channel memberships, it is up to the YouTube lords of random who gets them. Now, I can't decide. No, and you can't decide either. It's just whoever YouTube randomly decides, by the way. And if you are a member, you get access to the members only live streams. And thank you very much. Shadow and I are very appreciative of all of the support we've gotten so far.
Okay, so Mackenzie now writes, yeah, this is 3/17/2021. That's weird. Yeah, 3/17. So he goes, I'm here in about the same spot as the other day. Okay, so he's getting her from school.
Oh, what is this? Shadow says? Shadow says we have a super chat from Nanny Goat from the land down under. For soy-free hootie snacks, not trolls. Amen. Say it again, Shadow says. Shadow says, don't feed the trolls. Feed me soy-free hootie snacks. Shadow says, thank you, Nanny Goat. From the land down under, Shadow says, I wonder how my marsupial buddies are in Australia. The koala bears and kangaroos. And what's another marsupial? Wombat? Is a wombat a marsupial? Thank you, Nanny.
She writes, okay. She writes, is high voltage open? He goes, yes, they're open till 9. It's $22 per race. Okay, so maybe go-karting? So she writes, can you make me more milk, please? We need I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but I mean, you got to find some of the fun in this dark stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, I will say, if you can find a place to chuckle in the middle of all that, I mean, this is just terrible. Can you make me more milk?
Find a place to chuckle? Are they trying to audition for the Chuckle Hut or the Giggle Factory or what else? The Chum Bucket, like in SpongeBob, Plankton's restaurant, aptly named the Chum Bucket. They were going for a spot at the Chuckle Hut with that too.
Please. Oh boy. He writes, okay. Be by to pick up. Is 10:30 okay? You're at Dom's. I'm correcting when I know there's a mistake. Please confirm you get my text. Ken's. Then she writes, okay, 10:22 p.m. Coming. Are you here? Yeah, he just told you he was there. Or is this a new day? Oh, it's a new day. He goes, not yet, 5 minutes. Then he writes, here. Then he writes, I said I'm here. Ken's? She writes, okay. Let's go. You knew I was coming. If any trouble arises, call this number. It's my friend Jimmy. He lives in Toledo. Okay, this is let me be clear about this. This is a new day now, 3/26/2021.
My friend Jimmy. Why would he be giving his daughter a guy named Jimmy's phone number? What could they possibly be doing?
If any trouble arises, call this number. It's my friend Jimmy. He lives in Toledo. She goes, okay, good. I will. Be safe and smart, please. Love you. She writes, we are at the hotel. Okay, let's see. She's still 15 years old, right? Am I correct? No, she's 16 and has not turned 17 yet. Okay, so she's 16 years old now.
What's going on in a hotel, though? I'm a little confused about this.
We're not doing this S. You guys know I don't like to curse, so we're not doing this S. It's boring, so I think I'll be fine. Sorry, I worry, he said. Oh, so what? She was being really mouthy with him. We're not doing this. It's boring, so I think I'll be fine. It's like she's talking back to him there. He goes, sorry, I worry a lot. Don't go anywhere alone. She goes, LMAO, we won't. Don't laugh. I'm not going to sleep well tonight. Hey, it's Mom's birthday Wednesday. We're going to Buca for dinner. Find out what she wants for her birthday, or if you have any ideas, let me know. She goes, okay, I will. Mom told me she wants a really nice week for her birthday. And then she writes.
And notice also in these text messages, we're not hearing the tone, but I could imagine what the tone is. I can imagine Mackenzie's voice just from the phone conversations with her mother. Probably a bratty, entitled tone, if I had to guess.
It's wig. Oh, she wants a wig for her birthday? All right, I'm not going to go there. She writes, one that's going to look extremely natural. Like she's not even wearing one. Sorry, Natalie, but that's what's here. Public information. She wants one, and her color, we need to find one ASAP. He writes, we'll talk when you get home, okay? Are you on the way? She writes. He wrote, waiting on Danny, then we're on the way. You could have just went to Columbus. I don't know why Mom made it seem like shampoo and conditioner was more important than shelves for my room. She writes, I really...
Sounds very demanding and entitled to special treatment there. Who cares about other things? What's more important than shelves in my room?
Really need the shelves. He writes, it's okay. You're my pumpkin. She goes, I know. I just don't want the shelves to be sold out. I really need them. He goes, okay. Hey, sorry to wake you, but Dom has to move his car so I can go to work tomorrow. That's basically what he's saying there.
So basically that means Dom slept over the house.
And then he writes, Ken's. Then he writes again, Ken's. Then he writes again, hey, sorry to wake you, but Dom's got to move his car so I can go to work tomorrow. She wrote, okay. Then she sends an attachment. Okay. Then on the 16th of April, she writes, do you know your glasses are there? He writes, wakey, wakey, Dom needs to move his car. Ken's. Wakey, wakey, Dom needs to move his car. Dom, sorry. Wakey, wakey, Dom needs to move his car. Ken's. Again, wakey, wakey, Dom needs to move his car. And then he writes, now, exclamation.
Whenever he says wakey, wakey like that, he reminds me of Amon Goth in Schindler's List when he's firing the gun out the window and then his girlfriend at the time's in the bed and he like releases the shells onto the bed and says, wakey, wakey.
Points. He goes, I have to leave. Wakey, wakey, Dom needs to move his car. Ken's. Are these just repeats? They look like repeats. Some of them are repeats. Okay. Do you know where we can get, okay, so now this is on the 21st at 11:05. Do you know where we can get cones? Mom doesn't want to help. I've been trying to practice maneuverability and nobody is helping. Like my test is tomorrow. Oh, she's trying to take a driver's test. He writes, are the cones up at the high school? No, some effing idiot moved them. So now there's no cones there. Call the school or go to the office and ask about the cones. Maybe they put them out after school ends. Pff, I bet she didn't make that call. She goes, there's not even school today. But I'm going to call them. I'm surprised because the school could not stand Mackenzie. She was a problem. And by the way, I have a whole list of all her high school offenses. He writes, maybe the cones are off to the side and just not in the lot. Someone just bring them there. The school does not own them. I just called. Okay, you can wait for me when I get out of school 4 p.m.-ish or try Home Depot or Lowe's and see if they have them or just use a parking space without cones, have Dim or someone stand like the one cone at the top and maneuver around them. Or just wait for me. She writes, Mom just called the school and they said they're going to see if they have cones. Ever effing put that on my car again. Okay, so this is a new day.
What a threat. Don't ever effing put that on my car again. Oof. Now here's a poll for the chat. Your mom or dad, your daughter speaks to you like that. What do you do? What do you do? Let's hear your answers in the chat. Your daughter says to you, don't ever fucking put that on my car again. How do you handle it? And let's see how her father handles it. But what would you do? Her car, Mackenzie's car. Propofol is Michael Jackson's thing. I know that. Mackenzie's car, I believe. Or, yeah, she's saying her car, so I'm assuming my car means Mackenzie's car.
Okay, she writes, what she's trying to say is never effing put that on my car again, she says to him. And then she writes again, never. Now I'm going to be late to school because I had to turn around and go take that S off. He writes, LOL. He's laughing. She goes, it's seriously not funny. Like, I will seriously flip the F out. He goes, don't talk to me like that. LOL. She goes, I'm going to talk to you however I want until that bumper sticker stops showing up on my car.
I'm going to talk to you however I want until that bumper sticker stops showing up on my car. The definition of entitlement, the definition of brattiness, the definition of disrespect. I mean, she just doesn't respect her father.
Oh my God. He goes, no. LOL. She goes, because now I'm late somewhere that my hours matter. Okay, then call Polaris and get my hours back. I guess she worked there. He goes, you didn't need to come all the way back. LOL. That's your fault. LOL. She writes blocked. So she blocks her own father. He goes, thanks for the laugh. LOL. Giggle. New day. She writes, and this is May 9th, 2021. What candle scents does mom like?
And also, by the way, folks, when you're in a relationship with somebody and there's someone that pulls out that block button all the time and then lets you back in later, that's a problem, right? I mean, people can go years of relationships and never block someone once. But if you're getting with somebody that blocks over the most trivial of things and then expects you to ignore it later and they try to come back, I mean, I've heard relationships. Remember, I was talking to the woman, the therapist friend of mine. The hell is her name? Her name's escaping me for some reason. But she was saying that her boyfriend had blocked her like 20 times in the last year. And that's a problem. I mean, if you're dealing with someone like that, the person's just not emotionally mature. Now, don't get this confused with someone blocking someone for a good reason because they have boundaries and then just keeping it moving. That's a different story, right? Yes, we should be blocking people if they're consistently disrespecting us and our boundaries. Absolutely. I'm talking more about in a family / romantic relationship dynamic when you just tell someone no and they block you, or you call someone out once and they block you. That's childish. That's immature.
Can you try to get my picture from this video? So she sends him another task to do. He goes, I can't see it. He writes, am I unblocked? Sorry you didn't have a good time last night. Really, no matter what, Ken's, I love you and only want the best for you. She writes, can I go to Crocker Park? Please. Lobster bisque. Never park my car there again, she writes to him. Is this all the same day? No, it's not the same day. Okay, I'm going to go back. Okay, on the 16th, she writes to him, can I go to Crocker Park? Then she says, please. And then she says, lobster bisque. Okay. On the 18th, 2 days later, she goes, never park my car there again. He writes, why? Okay, why? And I guess she didn't answer him. She blew him off. And then on the 20th, she writes, Happy Father's Day. She sends him like a cute little Father's Day thing. He writes, thanks, baby. Would you do me a favor tonight? Please. I won't ground you next time you piss me off. Really? She goes, what? Then he writes, never mind.
And again, the way he's acting, he's given her all the power. She has all the control, all the power, and he's basically jumping through her hoops, not the other way around. Just like the dad in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, jumping through his daughter's hoops, the spoiled purple girl, just like that.
Your mother really loves me, so I guess the mother did him the favor. But you missed out on a grounding pass. So now this is a couple days later on the 28th of June, 2021. She's 16 still, guys. Your windows are down, she says to him. And then a couple days later, she writes, food? Question mark, question mark. And she sends him a TikTok. Then on the 8th, he writes, they had that at the mall, remember? She writes, no, when? He said, you don't remember the radio-controlled cars and track? Okay. This one, if this is the one I think it is, this one cracked me. Well, it didn't crack me up, but it was like, I was pretty shocked. Turn your down. And I think she means turn yourself down. Tell me when you're home. He goes, okay. All right, it's not that one. I thought it was. Then she writes, how long? So she does do this a lot where she'll be like, how long until you get here? He goes, on my way, a few minutes. In the driveway. Hey. Hey. Then she writes, okay, coming. All right, guys, ready? Where did you put that vodka? This is August 6, 2021 at 9:15 p.m.
So blatantly talking about vodka. which makes me think vodka is not milk. So let's see.
If I'm not mistaken, she has turned 18. Okay. In fact, I'm pretty sure she's 18 now. Or wait, I'm sorry. No, she's 17. She just turned 17. Where did you put that vodka? He wrote, on the counter where I showed it to you, LOL. She goes, oh. Then he writes, TSA sucks. I have a big pair of scissors, a toolkit, my butane lighter, and they missed it. He must have just went through the airport. Sorry for mom. She writes, LOL. Yeah, guys, the vodka thing, there was no joke. No, like, I'm only kidding. Nothing. That was serious. She asked where the vodka was, and he told her where to find it. So then we've got on the night. So obviously they're away now. Maybe they took a trip. I'm just speculating, but that's so far. I think I'm kind of following it good. He shares a link.
By the way, Shadow wants me to remind you to like the video because likes are free. Spank that like button. Throw Shadow here a like vest the same way Brian Hooker should have to Lynette Hooker, but did not. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell a friend or 5 about the flock of black sheep here. Shadow and I are going to be doing our own, how should I call this? Recruitment. Yes, that's a good way to put it. Recruitment, like Rooster was doing, trying to get OC Girl, which was good, even though it didn't work, but the effort still applauded. Say hello to the rest of the flock of black sheep here too. And super chats, super stickers, and becoming a channel member or gifting channel memberships. Great ways to support the channel. They help me pay for Shadow the Night Owl's soy-free hoodie snacks. I do interviews on this channel, and I talk about true crime, current events, and psychology. I do shorts about toxic relationships as well. And a lot of times we do these live streams between 10 and 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually 5 or 6 nights a week.
To her. Let me see. You know what? Hold on. That looks to be like the picture of like maybe outside their hotel room or something. So yeah, I think that they're away on vacation and she's probably home alone having a huge party. Oh, she writes, I wish. So she's, they're showing, the parents are showing her where they are to brag a little bit. Okay. Sends another picture. It looks like the Eiffel Tower. Maybe they went to Paris. I don't want to sit here and try to like blow all these up because there's a lot of text messages here. Yeah. Lots of pictures of where they are. 8-9. Okay, I'm going to get you and Dom these. So now, obviously, going to do souvenirs. Then on the 9, she wrote, oh my gosh. Yes. He goes, really? What size is Dom? And then she wrote, it's funny. She wrote, larger. You'd like it here, but you need to be 21 to have all the fun. No, apparently not. Apparently you can be 17 years old in the Sharilla household and have all the fun you want.
So again, that's more of like the friendship relationship, right? With your daughter, talking to her like a friend as opposed to a parent. That's a form of investment. That's a form of parentification. Parentification is a role reversal. Investment is when the boundaries are blurred between the two of them. We're seeing both of that here. And as I mentioned before, she's also enmeshed with her mother, Natalie. So they have that enmeshment and parentification as well in that relationship.
Okay. She sends an attachment. Let me see if I can. I can't figure out what that is. It's too small right now. Which one of these been at least 3? He says this is on the 10th. He's still on vacation. Tell mom to answer my text right now. And then she sends another text going RN for right now. She writes, do it. And then she does question mark 3 exclamation points. Are you just not going to help? Dude, they're on vacation. She goes, sorry, not getting involved. I'm just going to get mad. Okay, what's going on here? Maybe they're home. Oh, okay. So thanks for making this the worst birthday I ever had. Okay, so maybe she turned 17 that week. So wait, her parents go, maybe they're back in time for her birthday. I'll have to look up what her birthday is. I forgot. He writes, please answer the phone. I'm not going to yell. Oh, gosh. I'm going to go back and read this again because check this out. She goes, thanks for making this the worst birthday I ever had. This is on 8/12, 3:33 p.m. Then at 3:55 p.m., he writes back, please answer the phone. I'm not going to yell. She's dissing him, ghosting him now. He goes, you need to work with us, and going to the West Coast is out of the question. We do not have the time or the money to get there. We would get there, then have to turn around and leave. Hold on, I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Okay, I think for her birthday, she's asking, please answer the phone. I'm not going to yell. Oh, gosh. I'm going to go back and read this again because check this out. She goes, thanks for making this the worst birthday I ever had. This is on 8/12, 3:33 p.m.
I rewinded it too. I wanted to understand this. So she's guilt tripping him there. Thanks for making this the worst birthday I ever had. What did he do to make it the worst birthday she ever had? I'm not quite sure.
Then at 3:55 p.m., he writes back, please answer the phone. I'm not going to yell. She's dissing him, ghosting him now. He goes, you need to work with us, and going to the West Coast is out of the question. We do not have the time or the money to get there. We would get there, then have to turn around and leave. Hold on, I'm thinking. What do you guys think? Okay, I think for her birthday, she's asking to take a trip and for them to pay for it, to go to California, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. She wrote, there's a lot more places in between that we could go to.
I will say this, Christy. Shadow says this is important enough to go over. I'm assuming a manzillion is it around the what area? Because I don't know. I should Google it, so I'm not talking out my butt. But it's a weird joke to make with your father, right? I think we can all agree about that.
I'm never going to forget this. Oh my, what a brat. He goes, then come up with, I think he's trying to say somewhere else. So then she writes New Orleans, Nevada, meaning Vegas. She writes, oh, Mississippi. She's trying to tell him other places that they want to go to, not just the West Coast. And then she puts a bunch of question marks. She's very impatient right now.
So, Christy, don't shoot the messenger here, but this is what a manzillion is. A manzillion, or male Brazilian, is a full intimate hair removal treatment for men. Similar to a female Brazilian wax, it removes all or most of the hair from the pubic mound, shaft, testicles, perineum, and the area between the buttocks. Well, I'm now scarred for life for having to learn about what a manzillion is. Shadow and I now officially have PTSD. We will be awaiting our EMDR treatment. Thank you.
Then she does it again. Then she wrote, I just came up with some know what? I just came up with some know what? Are we ducked? Meaning effed. You guys still there?
I'm sorry, Shadow. The things we put Shadow through on this channel. Shadow said, I just wanted to watch some good content, and here I am learning about manzillions. I was like, what can I say? What can I say, Shadow?
There. Sorry about that. Okay. You guys still with me? Give me a heads up if you're there. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Do you guys hear me? Hear me? All right. So let me move down here. All right. So she now writes, there's Hot Wheel grab bags at this garage sale. This is on August 21st, 2022. Then she writes to him, never drive my car again without putting gas in it. Like, what the F? How are you going to drive someone's car? They're not put a single set of gas in it when it's literally put a single set of gas in it when it's literally below the line. It was not below the line when I gave you my car. Dad writes back, first, I took your car to get service, which I paid for, and had to waste an hour of my time waiting for it, and cleaned some of the inside because the person that drives it is a slob and doesn't keep it clean. Then when I returned your car to the driveway, I noticed the gas was on empty, so I left you a note. I told you when you came home and told your mother to tell you, so be more respectful and responsible. You owe me $74 for the service and $25 for the hour I had to sit there wasting my time for my disrespectful daughter.
Ah, all right. That's not so bad. Let's read that again. First, I took your car to get service, which I paid for, and had to waste an hour of my time waiting for it and cleaned some of the insides because the person that drives it is a slob, meaning his daughter, and doesn't keep it clean. Then when I returned your car to the driveway, I noticed the gas was on empty, so I left you a note. Told you when you can come home and told your mother to tell you. So be more respectful and responsible. You owe me $74 for the service and $25 for the hour. I had to sit there wasting my time for my disrespectful daughter. Yeah, Shadow gives that a round of applause. Very good. Now, the key will be, does he follow through on that consequence? What do you place your bets, chat? Does he follow through on the consequence? The odds are minus 500 that he doesn't, which means you have to bet $500 to win 100 that he doesn't follow through on the consequence. But place your bets. You placing the bets are following through on the consequence, or no, he's going to crumble. He's going to crumble. What's your bet? Let's hear it.
Yes, that deserves an applause, Steve. Good job.
Oh, it's almost like she listened to me.
Okay. Then she writes, I am inside. This is on a different day. No, same day. We are leaving now. Get corn and watermelon. Can you come get us? I'm here. He writes, so am I. She goes, F that B in the red car. And I know it sounds so much better if I said the curse words, but I'm sorry, guys. I just hate cursing. So, but you can see it right there, what she's...
Shadow has no qualms about cursing. So he says, fuck that bitch in the red car.
Saying, right? It's right on the screen. But she says, F that B in the red car. I lost my happy face paint. If you find one, it's mine. He writes, it's on the key rack. Dom has to move his car. Dom has to move his car. Is that the same one? Yeah, looks like a repeat. Ken's. Then he writes now.
I think they went over this part before. It's like a repeat.
She goes, WYA, would you, I think is what she's asking, will you do it? Then she writes to him 2 days later, calamari, extra lemon, no sauce on the calamari. If there's sauce, lobster bisque and the side of bread they gave. I work at 6 o'clock and I need to leave by 5:50. He writes, okay. What time will you be back? She said. Then she puts a question mark.
Oh my Lord. Do we need one of those cool things? Like when someone subscribes to the channel, get a big thing and then blasted. Amy Black just subscribed to her channel. And granted, imagine how many we get on this channel. So-and-so just subscribed to the channel. And Shadow would give you a round of applause.
And he goes, I'm there now waiting for it to come out. Then she wrote bet. He goes, what does bet mean? She goes, good. And he sends a picture of himself giving her the middle finger. You guys see it? It's kind of there. I'm going to have to pull that. And I'll do a part 2 on this and pull up all the images. Guys, before I continue, if you're just joining me, hit the like button on this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. I really appreciate the support. So then Dad writes, with love, for the middle finger. He goes, on my way home, traffic sucks. He sends a picture probably of the traffic that doesn't look like traffic, but he sent her a picture. She goes, okay, yay. Then she sends a picture also. Then she writes, oh, she sent a picture of something in their house. Don't know what that is, but she goes, you need to fix this.
Just the tone of that, right? You need to fix this. Not, hey, Dad, would you be able to fix this for me, please? You need to fix this. Which just goes to show you, right? Tone in what is said can go a really far way. And even just a tone of saying the same thing can also completely change how it's received, which is also true, right?
He writes, okay, how are you feeling?
And that's the problem, though, right? So he just says, okay, you can talk to me however you want to. I'm not going to stand up except for that one time. And then we didn't get to see whether our bets were cashed or burned because we don't know what happened in that situation. But again, that's a moment where when you let them get away with that without standing up, it continues. Because what you accept can continue sometimes. Now, that's something that, in particular, people that have been victims, they don't like hearing that. But there's some truth in it once we realize what we've been dealing with. Okay, maybe you've been victimized, or you're in the middle of a getting to know you phase with someone. What you accept kind of gets sub-communicated as it's okay. And you don't want to make that mistake. So the dad's kind of doing that with her here. Not just kind of, he is doing that. And it's a problem.
She wrote, not okay. He goes, sorry, baby. We'll figure it out. Just try and be patient with us, okay? We're only attempting to help. We love you. I love you. Let us help. She goes, I need help spray painting this head. I also need a top coat so it's not sticky. This is on the 21st of October, 2021. He writes, are you home? She wrote, yes. Next day, the paint is literally sticky. I touched by the ear and it's sticky. Just like I told you it would be. So what are we going to spray on top of it so not to make it sticky? He goes, all paint will be that way. Wait till I get home. Why did you tell me it wasn't going to be sticky then? He goes, well, figure it out. Don't panic. She goes, it's literally sticky. You better fix what you ruined. Or I will fail Polaris. What is Polaris? Does anybody know off the top of their head? He goes, so? She writes, are you trying to say that you're slow? He writes, I'm saying when you speak to me with disrespect, I don't care if you fail. She goes, let me know when it's fixed.
So kind of better by him, but at the end of the day, he doesn't follow through.
Question mark. No apology from this girl ever. No apology ever. You notice that? She is a narcissist.
And again, she said it, not me. But she said, I will say, this is where you got to get control of the narrative if you're the dad and say, no. Like, you can't let her off the hook so easy. No, this is what you're doing wrong. This is how I would like to see you act in the future. And if they refuse, then you start needing to pull out the consequences. Then you take no phone. Certainly no drugs and alcohol anyway. None of this, I'm going to be your errand boy and your servant. None of that. All that stops too. It all stops unless you learn how to treat me with respect and talk to me with respect. That's how you enforce consequences. Now, and granted, if you see a parent doing that out there, you can't presume that that child's story is always 100% accurate. So again, that's also a controversial thing to say too, right? But there are some kids that are like Mackenzie. But what happens is in each individual situation needs to be taken individually. Yes, there are certainly many toxic parents. But sometimes the parents are the ones that need boundaries with their kids. So if you hear someone saying, "Yeah, I'm not doing this for my daughter," don't always immediately jump to, "Oh, you must be a monster not helping out your daughter." I would say, well, it really depends. Is the daughter acting like Mackenzie here? Is the son acting like Mackenzie? Because if so, maybe that father's doing the right thing. So again, this Shadow and I would caution folks to about prejudging unless you know the situation.
She writes, do you know how to use a music DAW? Good to know to never ask you to do anything again. You just effed up my whole morning, she writes. How about you tell people your plan instead of just effing not going? Wow. Wow. My gosh, she is 17 years old talking to her dad this way.
And again, that's where he's got to stand up and be like, dude, you're going to let your daughter talk to you like that? So he's also sub-communicating to his daughter, yes, it is okay to talk to people that you supposedly love like this. That's what he's sub-communicating. Certainly Dominic Russo could collaborate this or corroborate. What's the word? Corroborate? How do you even spell that? It's not my favorite word. But he would probably confirm that's going on, right? Yeah, that's what she does to me too. And so I would say, Dad, don't be letting her get away with that. And you're letting her get away with it based on your lack of consequences.
I mean, even if you're in your 40s, you don't talk to your family this way. You just don't talk to your family this way. She writes, on the way.
Corroborate. It's hard for me to pronounce that word, but thank you, Amanda. Corrorobate. Corroborate.
Home from work, can you get the stuff I used for the neck of my project? Can you please go get us White Cloth or some S from the gas station? Oh, White Claws. She's asking him for alcohol. Or Mike's, which is the Mike's
Hard Lemonade or White Claw?
Hard cans of Mike's Hard Lemonade or something. Something like that, she writes. He goes, I'm in bed. I have to get up early, and it's Sunday. Oh, so she's not even home. So she's probably at Dom's house or at a party, and she's asking him to leave his house and go get her liquor and bring to everybody. That's what she's asking. And he's like, no, I'm in bed. I got to get up early. She goes, can you bring us some, please? Again, we need some, even the ones in the garage fridge. He goes, then come and get it.
And I do know some girls that were like this in a way. Not as bad as Mackenzie, but they were spoiled golden children for sure. Now, they weren't as bad as Mackenzie, and perhaps their parents weren't as bad as Steve and Natalie, but the same dynamic was at play. They were the little princess, and often it can be a pretty girl that's a little princess, or just something that reaffirms what they think is important in the world. So if they value attractiveness, if it's an attractive guy or girl, they might put that person on the pedestal. And again, people don't want to hear it, but even in situations where there isn't a narcissistic parent, parents can have favorites because certain ones are just more congruent with them. They're easier. And again, it's not right, but it certainly happens.
There are people here, she says. Then she writes, oh my God. Mom will drop it off in a bit, he says. So he sent his wife to get in the car and bring her alcohol. She writes, bet. He writes, bet, as in better.
Boomer, like almost like a boomer moment. Even Shadow and I know what bet means.
She writes, thanks. Bet as in good. He writes K. Now we're on a new day, the 2nd of November. Dom has to move his car, is what he's really saying there. Do you still want the bisque? She writes, no.
They have a lot of lobster bisque, milk.
So I imagine she asked him for lobster bisque and didn't bother to tell him when she didn't want it anymore. And only when he said, do you still want it, did she say no. He writes, okay. She writes, on the way home, get brownie mix. He writes, I won't be home until 6:30. She says, when will you go to press? Contacts again.
Now I can hear some of the pushback already when people watch this video. They'll say, well, don't you have a relaxed dynamic sometimes with your parents where you can kind of like just be having chill because you're on the same page? And I would say sometimes, but there is some underlying respect. And the foundation isn't as cracked as this foundation is. I would say this foundation's built on sand, is what I would say with this. So when the foundation's built on disrespect and entitlement and selfishness and lack of empathy, etc., then that talking to your parents like this is just not ever going to fly in a relaxed tone. Parents that actually have a good relationship with their kids, yeah, you might be a little more casual at times, but you know where the lines are. The parents know where the lines are. The kids know where the lines are, and they don't cross them. Mackenzie doesn't understand boundaries. It doesn't seem. It seems like she thinks she can do whatever she wants, and she deserves it. She deserves special treatment just for existing. That's what it sounds like, right? That's narcissistic.
She asked what press he asked, what is press season? She says around 6:30, 7 o'clock is when he'll be back. And then he says, I have to be at school till 6. And she goes, a bakery in Little Italy. So I guess Pressie's is this bakery that she's asking him to go to. And he says, why am I going there? To get brownie mix? And she says, no, just get me these little balls with sprinkles. And just send a pic.
Just get me, no please, or could you please? No.
When you get there. They are so good. And kalachkis or something, I don't know. She goes, I think. Raspberry ones.
And again, the father's rewarding her when she acts that way. She's getting what she wants. So when you give positive reinforcement for those BS behaviors, you are encouraging them to continue, whether you realize it or not. So a father or mother might think to themselves, oh, well, it's just going to be a headache if we put our foot down and we don't want to deal with it. And that happens a lot, by the way. There's a lot of parents that when push comes to shove, they just give in because it's easier to give in. But that's the lazy way to go. And it's not even helping your kids when you do that. Yeah, you get some temporary relief because the tantrum's over, but now you are reinforcing more tantrums to continue in the future. That's not what you want. And yeah, it's going to be difficult, like I said. If someone's like this and they've been built up like this, and again, that's where the social experiment comes in. If they would have not enabled it from when she's 11, 12, 13 or whatever, it would be very interesting to see how she would have turned out. I think she still would have been a handful, just maybe not as much of a handful.
Please. He goes, find out when they close. I'm at least a half hour away from there. She goes, I don't have school tomorrow. Can I get them tomorrow? I'm sorry. He says, I don't have school tomorrow. Can I get them tomorrow? All right.
Laura hates that sound.
Now, these are a bunch of links that she's sending. This is on November 4th. Okay. Then she writes 9 o'clock. And he goes, if I can't get to the bakery, can I get them tomorrow just in case I run late at school? She goes, you're going to make it. He writes, LOL. But if I can't, is tomorrow okay? I have to stay until 6 p.m. They just told me I will try and make it. Mom is gonna, or you will have to get brownie mix. She writes, why wouldn't you be able to? You don't have to get brownie mix if you get the Presties. He goes, Mom is getting the mix. I will rush to the bakery. She goes, you will like it too. Get the little circle ones and the ones that are like wrapped up. I can't with this girl, guys. I just can't. So then she says, just text me when you're there. He goes, I'm here. FaceTime me. Then he sends an attachment with the picture of the little, I guess, the Presties that she wants from the bakery. Then there's more pictures of more little yummy stuff. And she writes, yes, both. And they are ice balls, aniseed, anise, I guess. Thank you for subscribing, everybody.
Let's see if part 2 is up here too.
She would funny texts as well at times between dad and daughter. So I want to be
So this is Moms for Justice, by the way. They have a podcast as well, but this is her YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. Like the video because likes are free. Spank the like button. Leave your DNA of choice on the like button. Say hello to the flock of black sheep in the live chat. Tell a friend or 5 about what a grand old time that we have here in the Chuckle Hut. And as always, super chats, super stickers, becoming a channel member, or gifting channel memberships. Great ways to support the channel to help me pay for Shadow the Night Owl's, my buddy here, his soy-free hootie snacks. And when you're a member, you get access to the members-only live streams. They are Chill and A's, Q and A's. And we put anything extra in our retirement fund, the Hootie Snack 500. And as always, thank you very much for all of the support I've been getting so far. Shadow and I are very grateful.
Clear about a couple things. I think it's important to show these texts in its entirety to get the full picture of who Steve Shirella was as a father to Mackenzie. When you see me laugh, please know that there's nothing funny about this crime. I'm not laughing at the crime. It's devastating what happened here, and I fully
Sounds like she watched the Goodfellas. Funny? Funny how? Will I amuse you? What, am I a clown to you?
support Christine Russo, who's doing her own channel, which is Big Sister Unhinged, and she's got a big show tomorrow, Sunday at 8 o'clock. Make sure you check her out.
Press 1 if you want to see me invite Big Sister Dom's big sister on the show.
Subscribe to her as well. I have a deep respect for this family and the Flanagan family as well. They were impacted in the most horrendous way. There's awful videos going around of family members being notified. Please don't watch those. They're not good. Shame on TMZ for showing that. Unfortunately, it is public record. I don't know how they're going to get that taken down, but it is more of integrity and just good morals and values. And it's just, some people just don't have that, I guess. You know what I mean? But when I laugh, okay, I am laughing at the complete shocking disregard for actually parenting a child here. And Steve Shirella was Mackenzie's little slave. It's clear from part 1 that that's what we're hearing. I also hate hearing when anyone loses their job. Okay. And I know it's administrative leave. I've heard suspension. Guys, he's good as fired. I have no doubt in my mind that school is done with him. They're not going to take him back. And I hate that he lost a job because I think everybody should be able to support themselves in the United States. And, hopefully he finds another job. You know what I mean? But working around children, no. I'm sorry. He has no business working in a school. So it was a blessing that he was suspended, no doubt about it. And I do hope he finds another job, though. And thank you so much for the super chat, Jen. You're so sweet.
Also, folks, Shadow says, do you want to see me talk to Moms for Justice here? Maybe I should invite Moms for Justice on the show too to talk about some of these cases. Would you like to see that?
Happy Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day weekend to all of you guys. Please post below. I want to know what you guys are doing. I'm going to check in on y'all and see what you guys are doing later. But yes, thank you so much, Jen. I do appreciate the support for the channel. So everything leading up to this murder should be looked at, but especially the how Mackenzie Shirella grew up to be the person she is today. And it is very clear that there is a lack of parenting, which plays an astronomical role in this whole thing. This girl was, we learned yesterday, demanding, entitled. In part one, we saw that Steve acted as a personal assistant to Mackenzie. She would frequently text her dad at all hours of the evening and nighttime, demanding him to warm her milk. Can you bring me warm milk? Warm milk. Bring me my milk. One point, he brings her the milk.
And right, user, as I said earlier in the post I made before, devil's luck. A lot of narcissistic people have a devil's luck where it seems like they don't get consequences, or they're not held accountable, or they get away with things when it doesn't seem like they should. Now, eventually things can catch up to them. But the fact that Mackenzie is not a paraplegic or brain dead after that car accident, even if she has her seatbelt on, that's a form of devil's luck to me. That's what Shadow said. Shadow said, yeah, it's devil's luck that she even walked away from that.
Instead of going back downstairs to confront him about it, she goes, my milk is cold.
And yeah, she did have broken bones and internal injuries, so she wasn't completely unscathed, but in comparison to how bad it could have been, she was very lucky.
I would, those are the things I'm laughing at because I can't believe it. You can't read about this. This is crazy, insane. Also yesterday, we read 2 bombshell exchanges between them. One where she asks him, where is the vodka? And he responds simply with, it's on the counter in the kitchen. No questions asked. No discipline whatsoever. No, you better not touch it. You're not allowed to be drinking that. You're a minor. No, nothing was mentioned. It was just matter of fact. So if you can hear that in a text message just one time, that it was that easy for her, can you imagine what we don't know? What has been said passing by in the morning on the way out to school, or at night coming in and about going upstairs to her bedroom? The passing conversations that we don't know about. So in this video, it says so much about this man. Okay, and then the second bombshell is offering her dad weed mixed in some sort of peanut butter snack. And he responds with this, I don't like to eat my weed. Okay. Now, if you go to Google, just like I did here, look at the articles. Mackenzie Shirella's dad says Netflix is the crash, twisted his words about marijuana. Second one, Mackenzie Shirella's dad says Netflix took marijuana comments out of context. Guess what? I just proved that is a complete lie. I get it. He's trying to save face here, right? What father is not going to try to, minimize this? He's got a lot on the line here. And let me also say this with the deepest sensitivity that I can say it with. There is another daughter in this situation, and she is younger, is what I'm hearing. She's younger by a couple years. And I am so, my heart goes out to that girl. I don't know her. I don't know if she's as bad as Mackenzie, but, she has her whole life ahead of her too. And now with her parents, everything that's happening with her parents, she is probably living in literally hell right now. And I don't wish that on her. And I hope that if anybody's watching this and knows the other child of this family, please leave her be. You know what I mean? We don't know anything else about her, just that she's a victim. She's a victim in this whole thing. She is. She is the minor of Steve and Natalie, and now is growing up with her sister in prison for doing these awful things. And I feel really bad for her. And she deserves a chance at life. She does. All right. So, like I said, Steve Shirella, I'm sorry. We can see your text messages. I have them, every single one of them. And nobody's twisting anything. Okay. We also learned that Dom was frequently sleeping over in her bed at night when she was a minor, because there were constant early morning texts to Kenzie requesting from Steve, Dom needs to wake up and move his car so Steve could go to work, right? This is the lack of care and responsibility on the parents' part. You know, it's not Dom's fault. It's not Dom's parents' fault. It's not even Mackenzie's fault on that. You shouldn't have let him sleep over. Okay? It's a lack of responsibilities, a lack of parenting here. And this is what's wrong with families in America today. Steve and Natalie, they took part in creating this monster. I can't say that enough. And I have many questions that have come to me about yesterday's crazy episode where I read about the milk. People are asking, is it code for something? I went looking everywhere, guys. I could not find any code for warming milk. I even went ahead and looked in the transcripts of the jail calls, and there's no mention of milk in there. No mention of her talking about milk in prison, anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe that'll come out later, but I did go ahead and take a shot at it. Hello, everybody.
So I don't know if you heard that, but she said she was looking for the double meaning of milk. She couldn't find anything. I know it used to mean cocaine or crack, but I don't know if that's the context they were using it in. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. And I think she said it right, though, too, where her parents contributed to the dynamic for sure. Now, did they cause it? I don't know about causing, but contributing, yes. That's what I would say. And I can say contributing is more like enabling.
Let's continue reading our texts. We left off on page 138, I think. Oh, actually, no. I'm starting from 183, and it's like 240 pages or something like that. Okay, and then when we're done, I'm going to play, because I have the full FOIA, and it's a huge amount of information. I have a couple snippets of Steve and Natalie in the lobby, and no, it's not the lobby one that everybody sees on the movies. It's basically what's important about the videos, and you might have seen a clip, but I'll play the whole thing. It is very interesting because he's screaming to the police about her being a minor and that she's dumb and all this other stuff. So I'm going to play that, and then we'll listen to a jail call between Mackenzie and Dad also. So, and then a couple other things afterwards. Okay, so let's get to it. Here we are. We're on. Okay, so I'm starting just a tad earlier from where I left off. As you guys know, I lost internet yesterday, and hopefully we don't lose it today. And I apologize if we do. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I think I fixed it. But anyway, she asks, can you get me Popeyes? He says, where is a Popeyes that's close to us? And what do you want? Excuse me. She said, could you get me 2 biscuits and a large mashed potatoes? That's it. Okay. So is this a different day? 11:10, same day. I don't know what that is. She sent a picture. Or he sent a picture. Oh, do you want gravy on your mash? Gravy or no mash?
You want sugar tonight in your coffee? Sugar tonight in your tea?
She writes, gravy. Thank you. That was like the first time. Do you guys remember yesterday's episode? That I don't think she ever.
And remember, she has played the character of Regina George. She tried on that persona. And then she became the ghetto drug dealing persona after that.
Said thank you at all in any of these text messages yesterday. So, okay, no problem. He says, then she says, get 3 biscuits. All right, here she is getting all mad. You should probably retake your driving test if you can't tell that you literally hit the effing bench with my car. And she writes, hashtag worst driver, retake your test today. Oh my gosh. And guys, my dog is knocking on the door, and I apologize. If you hear him scratching at the door, just try to ignore him. No, go lay down, Ruger. So he writes, you mean the car that I had to move because the person who parked it failed to leave me room? And don't you... All right, hold on. Let me just block my dog, okay? Or let him in. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, I had to let him in, guys, because he was he's here. He's laying down by the door. Want to see him? But what he does is he wants to come in, right? But then he lays down and faces the door. Oh, you can't see him. He's in front of the door here. Ruger, come here, boy. Ruger, come. Here he is. Do you guys see him? Come here, boy. Sit. I'll see if I can pick him up for you, okay? This is front legs. There he is. Okay. All right, back. Some people don't want to see my dog, so. All right, so I'm going to read that one again from Dad. Dad goes, you mean the car I had to move because the person who parked it failed to leave me room, and don't you mean my car that I paid for? Is that the car you're talking about? Watch how you speak to me or you won't have that car. All right. Just going to give an applause there for Steve. That was good, Steve. All right. So she says, learn how to drive. Oh my gosh. My dad would have backhanded me.
And that's the problem, right? I mean, he makes an assertive statement, and that's how much she cares. And that's the other thing. I think people think, oh, well, you're assertive and then your kids will just listen. No, not always. Not when you have a kid like Mackenzie. It becomes a battle and you're going to have to stand your ground and be strong, or they're just going to walk all over you.
Then she writes ass. She writes worst driver of the year and then sends him a picture of the damage I guess he made. He writes, how many weeks do you want not having a car? Where are you? Is this the same day? Oh, no, that's just 2 days later now. He goes, where are you? Then he writes, you drive like ass. Nice speeding ticket, hot rod. Okay, so that's a problem right there, right, guys? I mean, being cutesy as a dad and making it lighthearted, something serious as her driving bad. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that this girl has terrible driving.
And again, that's kind of like him getting sucked into her frame and trying to meet her at her level instead of trying to make Mackenzie rise to your level. But Steve's level's low, so he tries, but he's not able to follow through.
Multiple people who came forward and said that she was absolutely a crazy driver. There are some witnesses that have said that they refused to get into the car with her and that she has had many videos taken of herself speeding, smoking pot, the whole 9 yards and everything like that. So we know, okay, and I have no doubt that mom and dad knew that she was a crazy driver. So He should be firm as a parent, but what he's doing is he being cutesy, adding the little hot rod comment. You drive like ass. Nice speeding ticket, hot rod. She should have had her keys taken away from her.
I'm sure she texted with her mom too, but she might have also been talking on the phone with her mom, so there was no need to text.
She writes, "Did you hear I got searched?" And there were 5 cop cars. He writes, "Buy a small or medium plain pizza or extra cheese." Okay, must be a different day. It is a different day. All right. Some of these I'm not, I don't have it memorized. So I got to remember to look at the dates. So he's asking her to buy pizza. And this is now, oh gosh, this is like weeks later. She writes, "Stop being loud as F." He writes, "What?" Same day, she writes back, "I can hear you from all the way up here." So she's in her room and her dad is too loud for her. So he writes, "Stop being so oversensitive AF."
See, that's just a childish though way. He's like getting sucked into her frame. Like, so instead, she says, "Stop being loud as fuck." I would say, "Excuse me? I will be as loud as I want in my house. Thank you."
You guys know what that means. And he goes, "And I'm not being loud." So she,
He sounds petulant, right? Like a boy explaining himself to his mother. But in this case, he's explaining himself to his daughter. But you see the tone? It just comes off as petulant and like a child. "And I'm not being loud, Mom. I'm not being loud."
writes, "That's not oversensitive. I'm trying to sleep and you're stomping around blowing your nose 79 times."
And again, it sounds like Mackenzie is more dominant than her father. And that's a problem. And honestly, that's where a lot of this stems from. And that's the thing people don't talk about as much, right? Someone that has confidence and is very sure of their own sense of reality, they can be tough to handle. And clearly, Mackenzie has a stronger personality than her dad. So she runs the show. And I think she has a stronger personality than her mother, too.
"Stop being a woman hater," she says to her dad. He goes, "Stop being disrespectful to your father." She writes, "No need to call me a name because I'm trying to sleep. I'm not. I just asked you to be quiet." Now, this is the 15th of December, 2020.
And again, like, if you didn't know any better, you would never know that she was talking to her dad. If I just showed you these messages, who would you think she was talking to? You would think she's talking to like a brother or a sister or something. That's what you would think. You would be flabbergasted to hear, "Oh, that's her dad that she's talking to like that." Right? You wouldn't think it by how, not only how she's talking, but how he is talking back. Right? He sounds like he's a brother or a sister too, the way he's talking back.
21. She is, just for a reminder to everybody, she is 17 years old. He goes, "Wakey, wakey, Dom has to move his car. I can't get out." This was constantly used.
Now, Amanda, I think that's a good question. I think that's part of her temperament from the beginning. Some people are more dominant and confident and assertive from the beginning. And I think the enabling just, allowed it to get worse. But that part of her, that dominance and that confidence, some people just have that temperament. Others, they have the opposite. Others are very quiet, shy, maybe a doormat, introverted, or passive. That's another temperament. It just is.
This exact text was mentioned in part 1. So probably on 4 or 5 different occasions had its own date where he was telling her that Dom has to wake up. So she's 17 years old and Dom is in her bed. Dom has to move it now. Not in 10 minutes. Please. So then she texts him, "I told him." Can you please get me Starbucks? Please, she writes again. What do you want? Dad says. I have to go out. It might be a bit. Okay, I remember this text exchange coming because I cracked. It's funny and it's like unbelievable too, if it's the one I think it is. So he goes, I have to go out. So it might be a bit. So he's telling her, I'll get you the Starbucks. Tell me what you want, but I have other things to do. So I'll get it on my way back. She goes, small or medium iced white mocha, sweet cream, foam, ND, extra.
She treats him like a servant. That's how she treats him.
Extra caramel. And a chocolate croissant. Okay, so let's look at this here. So she said she wanted the chocolate croissant at 4:19 p.m., 12:22. So 12:22, 4:21, she asks him, how long? Like, how long is it going to take you? Then at 4:45, so it's been like a half hour. That's it. She writes, Dad, warmed croissant. Make sure you warm it just like you warm her milk. And then at 5:08, so it's only been like 45 minutes, she writes, what the F? Why would you not get my food first?
Entitled, spoiled, selfish, bratty.
Then she texts, like, question mark, question mark. I would go if I didn't feel like S. So it's 5:09 now. So it's been about 55 minutes. And he goes, I'll let you know when I get there. Please relax.
And again, you can't be rewarding that kind of behavior. Her talking like that doesn't warrant her getting what she wants. If I'm her dad, I say, nah, you're not going to talk to me like that and then expect me to go run errands for you and do what you want. That's not going to be how it works. And then she might say, well, I just might have mom go do it. I just might have my boyfriend go do it. And I'd say, do whatever, but I'm not going to be the one doing it. And you shouldn't really even be hanging out with them if you're treating me like that anyway. Grounded.
So she writes, like, what the F? I told Dom no because you thought you would actually go.
Ah, there it was.
She's saying maybe I could have had better luck if I had sent Dom to get me the food. Then she says to her dad, unreliable as F.
Let's see what he says. Another make or break moment here. This is 2020. Let's see. Or no, is it 2020? 2021. Almost 2022, December 22nd.
This is at 5:10. So he writes back, I was on my way out. On my way back, I will stop, making me stop what I'm doing. Okay, so let me read. I was on my way. I was on my way out, on my way back. I will stop. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
You're reading it wrong. I will stop making me stop what I'm doing. He just double texted. But again, he's still like explaining herself. He's explaining herself to his daughter. He shouldn't be doing that.
He says, stop making me stop what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. I'm the worst. So then she writes WTF again. Then maybe next time, let me know you're going to take 5 hours. So it's 5:11 p.m. It hasn't even been an hour.
And again, this kind of thing compounds, right? It snowballs. Where she can still have this temperament, but if you enforce enough consequences, she'll at least know not to do it with you. Like she'll know, all right, I won't treat my dad that way. Maybe she'll feel compelled to treat other people like this, probably. But she shouldn't be this comfortable treating her dad like this.
Or yet. Then she wrote, and I'll just have Dom do it. Because he's actually going to get it. Like, do I have to have
triangulation? She did the same thing with Dom in the text message, right? If you don't handwrite me an apology, I am going to go get a sugar baby or a sugar daddy and sell feet pics. Triangulation with a sugar daddy.
Have mom go? And then now it's 5:18 and she's writing OMG, question mark, question mark, question mark. Thank you so much for the super chat, Elena. Thank you so much, girl. Hi, I'm new to this channel. Regards from Spain. Thank you.
Regards from Spain. Well, this channel has regards from Australia, I think Europe, all over America,
I've always wanted to go to Spain.
Canada.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate your support. So, okay, so now she's really losing her patience, right? And she says at 5:35, "Where are you? WTF?" Then, like, please never tell me you can do something if this is how it's going to be. Then she writes, OMG at 5:45. Yeah, I'm never asking you to do anything for me again. I'm not going to say that word. Damn, why can't you do this right? I should have something. If I don't get a chocolate croissant because they sold out, I'm going to flip out. STG.
The question I would have also is, why aren't you doing this yourself? Why can't you get your own chocolate croissant?
Oh, I'm going to something if I don't get a chocolate croissant because they're sold out. I'm going to flip out. Does anybody know what STG means? I don't.
Swear to God. STG, swear to God.
Then he writes at 5:53, what do you want? I'm here. So no mention of everything she just did to him. No, like, hello, I'm coming home. You're getting nothing. That's what I was be like. You're not getting crap, girl. Like, I'll be darned if I'm going to Starbucks now. Sorry, Steve. Bad move. Okay, so is this a different day? Let me see. Nope, same day. She writes, I text you and Danny what I want. REAF. Oh, read. I want read? Oh, okay. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah. And you guys know me. I'm a Christian, so I don't want to say that. Swear to you know what. Then he writes, what do you want? I can't believe this guy. And she writes back, medium or small, iced white mocha with sweet cream, cold foam, extra caramel drizzle, and a warmed up chocolate croissant. Wow. It only took you 2 hours.
Oh. So nauseating hearing her talk like this. I'm getting mad for the dad. And it's not even me she's talking to like this. Shadow would say, if she ever even dreamed of talking to Shadow like this, she better wake up and apologize. Handwritten.
She writes. He goes, one more comment and I'm gone. Okay, Steve, there you go.
It's too late, though. Too little, too late. I don't give him a round of applause for that.
She writes, just hurry. For real, it's already late as F. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee this late, but I have to. But I guess I have to.
Guilt tripping him for taking too long.
He writes, OMG 6 p.m. He wrote ONG, but it's probably OMG 6 p.m.
On God or oh my God?
She writes, I go to bed in 2 hours. Still complaining, this girl. And he writes, then what is the problem? Question mark. She writes, you taking 2 hours to get my drink.
And again, this is why if you can make concession after concession after concession, it just gets worse and worse and worse. That's why you can't make these concessions, because you enable the monster.
He goes, more like 1 hour and 20 minutes dealing with your texts. And she goes, next time, tell me you can't go if you don't want to go, if you don't want to deal with my texts. And then she wrote, dumb as F.
Ugh, hideous, Shadow says.
Like, I cannot believe what I'm reading here. This is like insanity. He goes, did you just call me dumb? Because the S storm is coming for you. I'd go hide, he said. She goes, are you threatening me for no reason when I'm sick with COVID?
Man, if I started doing those sounds, I would be encouraging people to not subscribe. Right, Laura?
She goes, so loving. Oh, and like she's loving. She doesn't love anybody but herself. That girl doesn't even have the capability to love somebody. That's how cold-hearted and narcissistic she is. Then she sends, oh, is this a different day? I think it is. She's sending him Tivana. I could tell right there that those are boxes of Tivana tea. And we know now from the text that she is sick with COVID. So she's sending him what she wants from the store again. Then I don't know what that is.
Makes me wonder how the dynamic even happens. Because she's not like this, like, the words are not like this. She has her temperament already, yes. But I wonder when the dad really started caving to this kind of behavior. Like, when was it? Like, right around the time puberty hit, probably? Maybe a little after? What would be your guess? It'd probably be around that time, I would say.
Oh, there we go. 3 Tivana, Youthberry white tea, 45 sachet, total Best Buy, discontinued rare. Then she sends, what's the date? 12/23. Okay, so it looks like Christmas presents again, maybe. She's sending.
By the way, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, say hello to the awesome flock of black sheep in the live chat. And as always, super chats, super stickers, and becoming a channel member or gifting memberships, great ways to support the channel. They help me pay for Shadow the Night Owl soy-free hoodie snacks. And we're usually live 5 to 6 nights a week at a little bit after 10 p.m. Eastern. Yesterday, it was before, by the way. But we talk about true crime, current events, and psychology. I also interview a lot of mental health professionals. Dr. Z, she might be coming on board in a day or two to discuss this very case. I sent her the homework, so hopefully she can come on. Matt Murphy, we're tentatively setting something for June, so that should be cool. Look forward to Matt Murphy.
Well, I don't know what that is. It looks like a bunch of, not sure what that is. Okay. New Tivana, 8-ounce, Youthberry and Wild Orange Blossom blended tea, sealed. For mom. So she's suggesting a gift for mom for Christmas. Here it is. For Christmas, buy ASAP. I love her wording. She's just, do everything for me now. She sends the attachments again to him. It's not going to be here by Christmas, he says. She goes, IDC. So I guess it's like, she writes, I'll just tell her my gift isn't coming till next month. She will like it. What's IDC mean, guys?
I don't care.
He goes, you should care. She goes, buy it. Mom always has stuff for me after Christmas. Sometimes delivery takes longer. I buy it. Could you please come up here and rub my feet?
Ha! I'd say you have a lot of nerve asking me to rub your feet. Who do you think I am, Quentin Tarantino?
Okay. Can we just stop right there? She is, okay. 17-year-old girl. Now, guys, if you were not here yesterday, you got to watch part 1 when you're done with this because there's a lot of bombs in that. But we heard yesterday her asking him when she was even younger to rub her feet a couple occasions, I believe it was. But could you come up here and
That's like a emotional incest, but the other way around. Like her doing it to him almost.
rub my feet? I don't know what to say about that. Sure, mom and dad have, come over and they're just sweet. I get that. But really rubbing feet? I mean, she's disgusting, people. She is absolutely disgusting. I have no words. Let me take a sip of my coffee here. Guys, if you're on this video right now, make sure you smash the like button for me. I really, really appreciate your support. Subscribe if you haven't been subscribed. I do have a merch link. There's my coffee mug and sweatshirts and all that stuff. And I do appreciate any support towards the channel. Thank you very, very much for being here.
Well, let's keep it real here. I mentioned Quentin Tarantino. What do they say in Pulp Fiction when the rumor was that Marcellus Wallace, he threw someone out a window because they gave Mia Wallace, his wife, a foot massage? Now, John Travolta's character, Vincent Vega, was confronting Mia Wallace about this in the movie. And I think John Travolta's character, Vincent Vega, and Samuel L. Jackson's character, the hell was his name in the movie? I can't remember. But they were both talking about how intimate a foot massage is. How it's not just some sort of whatever. It's a very intimate thing. So, to put it into context here.
Okay. She says, come up here and rub my feet. Thank you so much, Julie. Oh my gosh, girl, how are you? I love Julie. She's always on here. Thank you, girl. She writes, they are in pain, her feet. They are in pain and mom will not do a good job. Can we use, okay, is this a different day? Okay, we don't have his answer to that. So that tells me he went upstairs and rubbed her feet. He didn't write back, no, I'm not.
That is correct there, Laura. That's a good, or song bits, I should say. That's actually a quite disturbing part of the story. Remember, she had said, I'm going to get a sugar daddy and sell feet pics. And then literally Dominic said, no, you were letting a guy F your feet. And she appeared to admit it too, by the way, by saying, we were broken up. But it's like, maybe there is something a little iffy going on with her and the feet there.
Or anything like that. He probably went right up there and rubbed her feet. So then I would imagine this text. So this is on the 2nd of January, 2022. Can we use your professional camera? It's probably talking for her and her boyfriend, or maybe her and her friends are needing to use a camera. She goes, we won't break it. Can we use the camera today? This is on the 3rd. And then again on the 6th. Can you rub my feet? Yeah.
Oh, you're an idiot.
Uh-huh. I am like beside myself. He writes back on the 13th. So he never answered her back about the feet, which means he probably went up there and rubbed her feet.
I like envision her like some sort of pampered, spoiled princess, like waving a fan while he does that.
Then on the 13th, he writes, the streets are really icy. Be careful. Please be extra careful driving. It's icy. She goes, I know. I'm at Dom's. Then this is February 3rd. If you take that car out, I will call the police and tell them you stole it. If you are not driving today. Oh, he goes, you are not driving today, period.
This also makes me think, Shadow says, Jared, you should provide, even though you're not a parent, you should provide parenting training to people like Steve here. How to handle these narcissistic kids and entitled kids. The Jared and Scott, the Shadow school of doing so. I should probably do this. Just like I could probably help many of the estranged parents, I would say, hey, I could probably get you to at least make it the most likely you'll be able to reconcile. I can promise that, as long as you follow through with what you're told. So maybe that's the angle of the business we should also do.
Might as well just go back inside. So something happened. Something happened. Is this the same day? Oh, yep. She writes back, I'll just show them this LMFAO, which I know what that means. Laughing my effing ass off. And I just cursed, which I never do. So I'm sorry. He writes, okay. You're 17 and I'm your father, and I told you not to take that car. Whose side do you think they're going to side with? Don't know what it's about. Don't know the context. But it's just another example of there's a problem with Mackenzie Shirilla when she gets behind the wheel of a car. So when you go back inside, hand me the keys. Thank you, Jen. Guys,
Are people subscribing out there? I hope my subscriber count has gone up by about 20 during the interview or during this stream. How about that?
I don't know how to accept gifts. I feel very vulnerable. And so I know I'm always like, but thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I'm just very humbled by it. And thank you. And she says, in my opinion, something weird here. Could this be some kind of consensual relationship? I don't know, Jen. I could see why people would wonder, for sure. I could see that. It's probably unlikely that there was anything like that. I don't know if I want to go there, but I will say it's not appropriate parent-child relationship overall. I'm just going to say that. This guy acts more like her friend. Natalie acts like one of her girlfriends. I know for a fact that she has a terrible mouth. There is a phone call I have in the FOIA request, and I think it's a call with Rosie, not Rosie the moderator, but Rosie, her friend. And nobody's ever played it on the internet at all. I haven't heard it at all. And I'm not sure of the context of the call, but she's basically referring to talking to Mackenzie and referring to Mackenzie, referring to her mom as Natalie, not saying your mom. She's saying Natalie. Does anybody know if Mackenzie had a friend named Natalie? That would help clear things up for me, because I have this call and I'm waiting to find out what the context.
Her mom is named Natalie. Maybe she has a friend named Natalie too. I'm not sure.
Is before, I make any determination about playing it or anything. But is Natalie in this case only the mother, or is there another Natalie? But yeah, the relationship here between Steve and Mackenzie is extremely disturbing, in the sense that it's just not. He's trying to be like.
It's enmeshment, role reversal, parentification. Except the twist is she's in charge, not the other way around. It'd be even more creepy if he was in charge of this dynamic and the dynamic was the same. As it is, he just comes off as more weak, is what it comes off as.
Like the cool dad and like her buddy, and she just steps all over him. I mean, it's really disgusting and sick. It really is. And I can't stress to you enough. Yesterday's episode was the majority of the text. And you need to watch that video. You got to watch that video. I'm not just trying to push it for the channel, but I mean, it's every single text message, and it has woken my mind to so much. It really has. Nobody knew about the milk. Nobody's been talking about this warm my milk. And she must have said it. When did she say it? Yesterday, guys. She must have texted him, I don't know, at least 6 times, go warm me some milk. I mean, and we were all like, what the heck is this? I mean, I couldn't believe it. All right. So he goes, so when you go back inside, hand me the keys. So he's demanding our car because there's something going on with the way she's driving again. And she writes, oh, is it back to that? Oh, she responds to him with LOL. I mean, he's currently trying to, act as an authority member, which honestly, I think he lost years ago because, and I hate sidetracking.
Well, here's the other thing, though, right? There is some conditioning in the world also that conditions people to not respect the dad. Think about Homer Simpson or the other weak men from sitcoms, where it's usually the guy that's weak and the woman's the one that runs the show. She's the one that really makes the decisions and has to keep things together for the dope doofus of a husband, whether it's Homer Simpson or Ray Romano or fill in the blank with whomever. There's some of that going on out there. That's certainly a narrative I see a lot in these shows. I don't think it's right. I think they should have a healthy mix. Okay. It's one thing if you have a Homer Simpson, but there could also be other dynamics too, where there's actually a strong father. You don't really see that too often, do you? Name the last time you've seen a strong father in a show. We go back to Game of Thrones for crying out loud, which is maybe one of the reasons why people like the show so much, where it would actually hit home and people liked it.
I know you guys want to get to the text message, but it's so important to note that if you give too much rope to a child earlier on, when they're like in those really early teen years, like 10, 11, 12, 13, if you give too much rope and you make the bad decisions and give them too many, privileges, it's much harder to pull the rope back. It really is. And I think the damage had been done. And she was like, I got this guy wrapped around my fingers. And so she laughs at him back. And then she says, where is the soil that you plant stuff in? All right. No, this is a couple days later. So, wow. She just laughed at him back then on the 3rd of February. Okay. So it's March 9th now. And she goes, where is the soil that you plant stuff in? This girl never does her own research. She has to go to her dad for everything. Where is the big bag of it? He goes, I don't know, maybe in the garage. Ask mom. So she goes, she's being dumb as F. That's why I'm asking you.
Mom's being dumb as fuck. I mean, if you're a man and you're hearing your daughter talk to your wife like that, I would say, who do you think you are talking about your mother like that? Calling her dumb as fuck? What? I'd be like, no, that's not going to fly.
Where in the garage? She asks. So check this out. He writes back, baby, I don't know if I had to guess. It's probably buried somewhere. Go buy some at the Patites. Oh, it must be the name of a store there. Where is the message from dad saying, how dare you talk about your mother that way? Dumb as F. Nothing. No mention of it.
See? Moms for Justice is taking a page out of my book. Shadow approves.
She goes, when are you going to be back? Because my plant is going to die. Then he goes, 4-ish, 4 o'clock. She goes, now this is about 12 p.m. I got soil. You don't need to buy it. Can you take a pic? Okay, now this is a couple weeks later. Can you take a pic of my prom dress? So she's obviously out and messaging her dad to go into her room, pull her prom dress out and take a pic of it. She's probably shopping for accessories. He goes, sure. She goes, never mind. Mom did. Now it's the 31st of March. When will you be home? Because 20 minutes or so. She writes, bet. Which I heard yesterday means good. She writes, where are you? He goes, in a minute. So she's being impatient again. He told her 20 minutes. And then she writes to him again, are you on the way back? He goes, oh, okay. So nothing else after that. Then on April 9th, he goes, they're calling you. And then she writes back, did you see? The Steelers quarterback died. He got hit by a car. Okay, I'm going to stop there.
What Steelers quarterback died in April of 2022? I don't know.
Oh, it just kind of creeps me out. There's a couple things in this case that have creeped me out. Okay. And this is one of them. But even bigger was there's a bunch of stuff going around on social media with this small clip of her arrest. And the police officer is putting Mackenzie back into the backseat of his police car and leaning in and trying to help her fasten the seatbelt. And the clip that's going around on TikTok.
Now, people were saying, because they said, why was the handcuffs in front of her instead of in back? One of the answers was, they said, the cast on her arm. I'm not sure why that would make that much of a difference, but that's one of the answers I heard. I can't confirm it, because I was curious, why would they handcuff her in the front? I was thinking maybe just because there's less chance of an injury, maybe, in the front. But also, when they're in the front, you're more of a danger, right? Because then you can do the old No Country for Old Men thing, right? You have the handcuffs in front of you, and you can strangle them. Now, maybe they're not concerned about that with a 18-year-old girl at the time. But Anton Chigurh, he showed you why you shouldn't be handcuffing people in the front.
And I think maybe Instagram is listen to this clip.
Carl Winslow is the father from Family Matters. He was a cop, and Family Matters is Urkel. Stefan Urkel and Urkel. Back in the 80s, and this is the thing, right? I watched that show, and I think they did a great job parenting, or at least raising my generation of kids in terms of race, because it was about a black family, and I never thought about it once. It was just normal. Oh, black family, who cares? Right? It's like, it just wasn't a factor for me, which I think is good. I think it's good that's how it was. But nowadays, though, I would think of it completely differently because people have talked about it. So after reading Obama's book, for example, and I would say, oh yeah, now I would see it as a race story. Oh yes, and I would see it through a different lens. But I thought it was good, though. I think it was a correct amount of racial awareness with just, having the wisdom to know that, it's the color of someone's skin is not about the content of their character, as Martin Luther King Jr. would say. So I liked it. But he was the father. He was father to Laura and Eddie. Eddie and Laura were his kids. And Stefan Urkel would say, I've seen memes, because Laura was his girl, but Laura never liked him, unfortunately for Urkel.
You can hear a voice in the background saying, she killed us. And I was like, come on, some idiot made that up. Some idiot put that in there. Guys, I have the official FOIA requests from the police.
I have not heard that whisper. I've heard people saying it, she killed us. I have not heard that myself. I've heard people saying it, though. But any of you heard it? Have you heard someone say that? I'm thinking, were they officially dead yet on the scene, Dominic and Davion? Or were they officially pronounced dead at the hospital?
Department. So I have it. So I went into it and I found the video and I played it. And my goodness, it is for real. There is a voice in the background saying she killed us.
Oh.
And the only two people that are in this video is the police officer buckling her and her. I kid you not. I don't lie. And many of you on here that follow me know that I'm an honest person. Okay. I do not lie. And I thought for sure that it was a bunch of BS. Well, I have the video. I'm going to prove it to you.
Let's see it.
There is a voice that
Let's see this voice.
says, she killed us. Just like that. It's very quiet, but it is clear. You can hear it. I'm going to play it for you when we're done. Nope, not kidding. Not kidding.
So she's saying during the arrest, not at the car. Is that what she's saying?
Not kidding. I'm going to show it to you. All right. Back to her text. So yeah, he got hit by a car. And I was just like, what the heck? You know, what are the chances of that? He wrote, he's like the third string quarterback or whatever. She goes, I don't know what that is. He writes the backup QB to the backup. Okay, then she sends an attachment on the 14th of April. What is that? We need a tire, she said. Are you close? She sent another link. Thank you, Dad. So I guess he bought something. No problem. You're my baby. I love you. Be safe. Love you. We will. We're on the way now. Okay. So,
Well, one thing, Steve was lying about her drug use and enabling her drug use and other things along those lines. And so they thought, well, do we really want someone like this around kids? Probably not.
she's obviously going somewhere with either friends or Dom, maybe a trip or a road trip because she needed a tire. He's giving her extra words of, you know, trying to be a parent here, saying, make good choices, he says. Then he says, have fun. Love you. Wait, what's the date on that? That's on the 6th of May. Then she writes, are you close to town hall? And he goes, no. Why? She writes, never mind. Never mind. And then she says, do you want to try deer jerky? Dom's dad made it. It's kind of weird, but good. He writes, sure. Okay, this is the 14th now of May. She sent a copy of a text message, it looks like, or I don't know, maybe a TikTok, but it looks like it's a copy of a text message exchange. More of them. Then he writes back about it to her. See how awesome I am? LOL. Thanks for helping. We should try to get her and fight for her. She can literally be in Danny's room. Okay, I bet you, here's my guess. I think it's an animal, like a rescue, maybe. I could be wrong. Skylar's mom got emergency custody of her until they can go to court. This is on the 18th. She goes, is that bad? And he said, no, it's good. Okay, here's another one. She's pissed. The next day, on the 19th of May, she goes, you are never driving my effing car again. Then she wrote, disgusting. To her dad. Don't effing eat fast food in my car, then leave the trash in my car. Disgusting, she writes.
What does that sound like? Remember, Steve was saying to her before that she is a slob. So it sounds like her accusations here were also a confession of how she is in her car. She is disgusting and a slob in her car. So what she's accusing him of, she's guilty of herself.
And maybe try putting it back the way it was when you left. Don't take my steering wheel off if you're not going to put it back on. Oh, I bet you, you know how in some of the TikToks, she has like a pink furry steering cover? I bet you, of course. My daughter has complete sequins around her steering wheel. And, my husband doesn't take it off, but I think if she didn't have a pickup truck where, because you can't see it, so my husband doesn't really care. But I think most men, if they had like a bright bubblegum pink furry steering cover, they would take it off. And I think she's mad that he didn't put it back on.
And that's the other point, right, Amanda? I wouldn't even think to talk to someone like that. But for some people, it is second nature for them to talk to people like that. And it goes to show you they're just starting from a completely different baseline. There are some people that would really struggle to assert themselves, and they probably go too far in the other direction, right? They're too passive. Mackenzie does not have that problem. She has the opposite problem. She needs some humility and she needs some accountability. Other people, and again, this is why self help, when it's general, you're going to miss the mark because depending on where someone is, what someone like Mackenzie needs to hear is completely different than what some sort of people pleasing person would need to hear, right? They're in two different spots completely.
She goes, "You're done." He goes, "First, our car that we paid for. Secondly, don't you speak to me like this. Sorry, it was just a bag. Oh my gosh, grow up." All right, Steve, go. Then
It's a little better, but I still think he could have done better. I would said, don't talk to me like that. Not it's just a bag. Don't explain yourself about it. You simply say, don't talk to me like that again. Simple, brief, assertive. No, but it was just a bag. No, stop that. That makes you sound weaker.
Right. Third, I'll drive that car when and whenever I want. Go, Steve.
I'll drive that car when and whenever I want. Okay, well, that's better. That part's better. What have we here, Shadow? Michelle. Thank you very much for the super chat, Michelle. Soy-free hootie snacks for you, Shadow. Shadow says, thank you so much, Michelle. Shadow is always glad to see you. Thank you very much for your support. As for the rest of yous, likes are free. Subscribing to the channel is free. Telling everyone you know is free about the flock of black sheep in the channel here. And of course, super chat, super stickers, and becoming a channel member or gifting channel memberships, great ways to support the channel. Thank you again, Michelle.
She goes, "If you can find the keys." Oh my God. This girl, she is something else. So no, you will not be driving my car anymore. You can ask for my permission, though, and then maybe you can.
Oh my God. This is just hideous. I mean, think about this. That's another tool I'll teach you all. Think about the person that you respect the most in the world. How would they handle being talked to like this? It's a skill, right? And you can use this skill in your life as well. Someone that you really respect in the area you're thinking about. What would they tell you is wrong with your life? What would they say you need to be doing differently or improving? It's a valuable thing. So what would your person you respect that has good boundaries, assertiveness, etc., besides yours truly, of course, how would they handle this?
I have no words at all. But I'm just letting you know, disrespectful. Again, my car that you use. That's it? That's all you got? This guy never took her car away. Never took her keys away. Never took her phone away. Never, said your butt.
Hey, taking her car away could have saved everyone's life.
Is staying home. You're not allowed out. You're not going out with your friends. You're not going to go see Dom. No. And by the way, let me be clear. Whatever you hear in these texts, You can't blame Dom. You can't blame the Russos. You can't blame her friends. You can't. This is Steve and Natalie's problem at the end of the day. She writes, if you want to be treated with respect, how about you give it to other people? He goes, ditto.
Imagine, he should have been the one saying that to her, right? Not her saying it to him. If you want to be treated with respect, you treat me with respect.
Just have fun in your closet when you get home. Huh. Have fun in your closet when you get home. Your trash is in there. So, guys, she must have taken the trash that she feels he left in her car, or maybe he did, which he has a right to, right? Bags it up and dumps it in his closet. Oh my gosh. If I was you, I'd think twice before you piss me off, and then you won't have a car, period. All right, Steve. We're getting somewhere. So text me again with your BS and C. Think twice. Then she goes, is this the same?
Oh, think twice. Just another day for you and me in paradise.
Okay. I tell you 1,000,000 times to not disrespect my car and take my steering wheel off and leave trash, especially eat fast food in my car. But you never listen. I'm just telling you that you're disrespectful. When you start making a car payment and insurance payments, ...
Aha! He got her with that one.
Until then, keep your disrespectful tone and words to yourself.
All right. That's better. It's better, but there still needs to be consequences. As in, I'm going to stop paying for those things. You're going to start paying them.
Okay, so it's a new day now. It's the very next day after that argument. She writes, we're on the way. He writes, I'm here. She writes, we will be there in 7 minutes. We're parking. 5 minutes. Be careful, have fun, he says. She goes, thank you, love you. But not too much fun, he says. LOL. Okay. I don't know what she sent there. Can't see it. Can't open these links up, guys, because these are screenshots. He writes, yes, the school knows nothing has been done. Just talk. This is on the 21st. Okay, so it's in response to a screenshot of obvious text messages of something going on regarding the school. And then he's responding, yes, the school knows nothing has been done.
Colo, you remind me of the song, Been Around the World and Only Stupid People Are Breeding, as the song would say. No offense to the parents out there.
The school knows nothing has been done, just talk. So she writes, what do I say? He writes, tell her not to worry about it and relax. Okay. Then she sends an Instagram link on the 26th, and he writes, why? It's a vape Hot Wheel. It's a vape. I want to say vape. She does have a lot of typos. So I'm trying to figure it out as I go. He goes, I don't have an Instagram login, so he can't see the link of whatever product is he wants her to see. He goes, send me a pic. She goes, oh, I don't know why it's making you log in. He says, I don't know. We're almost done with these, actually. Okay, so she sent a picture. I can later on be able to pull that up at some point. There's a way to do it. It's easy, but, well, I'd have to go through a little shenanigan. But he writes, how much is it? $50 for the Hot Wheel. $150, $150 for the shirts. Okay, she added on another link. And then there's just more here. Too much, but they look cool, is what he says. This might be the end. But I do have the police report that sums up what they found to be the most important moments of the text. And I'll read that to you. And I'll even.
Well, why was he such a pushover? Well, part of it's his own temperament. He's just a little more passive and immature. That's part of it. He might have seen his parents do a similar dynamic growing up. That's part of it. Some people never learn radical self respect, which is why people should be. It's a unique thing that you even find someone like me to teach people about some of this stuff. Some people go their whole lives and they never learn it ever. So you get a leg up. I think the new generation, because of the internet, though, they do have a little bit more of a leg up in education and psychology, more so than my parents' generation did. My parents were, unless you were in the field, psychology, or as a counselor or therapist, you didn't learn about this for the very most part. And it wasn't on, like, most people didn't go out of their way to read the self-help and psychology books. So most people just never learned it. Never learned boundaries, assertiveness, how to heal trauma, none of it. No awareness of narcissism, borderline, assholes.
And show it to you. He writes on June 14th, 2022. So this is about a month and a half before the crash. Are you at Dom's? She writes, no. Then she wrote, take them home. I'll pick them up. Thank you. He writes, okay. And then she writes, I needed them. How many did you get? He writes, 6. She writes, thank you. Then Ruger, no, boy. Then she writes, here, can we go? She corrected a typo. Then she wrote Happy Father's Day on June 19th. And then he writes, thanks. Oh, gosh. Guys, remember yesterday in part 1, we saw the Father's Day messages between them for 2021. And that was a hoot. Let me let Ruger out, guys. It's only going to take me a second.
There he is. That's not quite a golden retriever. What is he? A yellow lab? Livin'. Where's Livin' when you need her? It's a yellow lab, I think.
Wow, it's like downpouring here, guys. Like I'm in Tennessee and it's coming down and I'm so worried because my daughter, she's 18. She has to drive somewhere and kind of a nervous wreck about that. I'm thinking about it right now and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Okay. All right.
What do we have here, Mike? Thank you very much for the super chat, Mike. Why we congregate here, we are the black sheep. That's right, Mike. Shadow agrees. And Shadow does appreciate the soy-free Hootie snacks as well. We'll put the leftovers in the Hootie Snack 500. Shadow wants me to tell you, Mike, to say hello to his cousins in Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, that are hanging in the trees up there. And as always, thank you very much for your support.
So I think, is that it? Okay, no, we got a couple more. She sends another link. Tell I know, he says. Maybe open both windows, Cheech. Ooh, Cheech. Why does he call her Cheech? Cheech and Chong up in smoke? If there's people on here that are younger than 30, you're not going to know. But Cheech and Chong is like, a 80s duo in movies, and they were known for just smoking pot like crazy. So interesting. He called her Cheech. She goes, we did. How did my friends give you a $20 bill by chance? Then he sends her, I don't know what that is. She writes, war is that. Mom said to send this to you. It's a heat press. Okay. He wrote, I have one. She goes, I don't know what that does. And then he writes for shirts. Making Cricut t-shirts. Oh, I know about the Cricut. My sister-in-law has a Cricut. For applying the image to the shirt. Okay, so that is the end of the text messages. Okay. I'm glad I did a part 2 now, because I probably should have ended it when I did. I had the internet issues yesterday, but it was crazy. So we've got that. So I have a couple of things I want to show you guys. Let me pull this down here. All right. Woo-wee. So wait, comment below while I'm pulling up the next thing and let me know what you guys think so far about what I've shared. Yeah, the Cheech comment is crazy. If anybody has any questions or comments or things they want me to address, can you just go ahead and post it? You could put a big 3 Qs in the front and I'd be able to answer you a lot easier that way. Okay. The arrest.
Okay.
Are you guys ready? Remember I told you about the weird voice? Okay. Hold on.
So here it is. After that, she's going to play the father and the mother at the police station. We heard that on a Law and Crime Network video.
Do you guys remember the weird voice I told you about? This came, no joke, came right from, I'm going to do this. Okay. Let me move this over for you. So it's not block that right there. Okay. I know it's over here somewhere.
Okay. So it's not the scene of the car accident, it's when she's being arrested. So what's the speculation? People think that the ghosts of Davion and Dom said this? Is that what we believe?
If you're just joining me now, I was telling everybody before that there's all these TikTok videos going around where you hear a voice when he's putting Mackenzie back into the car during her arrest. And they're saying, do you hear that voice? It's like a spiritual voice in the background saying, she killed us. Oh my gosh. I pulled it up from the FOIA request and it's here. Yep, it's right there. Okay. All right. I'm going to turn it up really loud so you guys can hear it.
Shadow and I will give you our thoughts, Amanda. We'll see here. Let's see.
All right.
That's her most prized possession bracelet. Those bracelets were very important. Those are the slides with socks. I never understand why do the kids do the slides with socks? I've never understood that.
Listen very carefully.
I don't watch Dawn. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Right there. Did you hear it?
I didn't hear it.
Dude, I am not kidding you. Listen one more time. I'm not going to lie. I'm hearing that.
I don't hear it. What is she hearing?
Did you hear it? Dude, yep, it's right there. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn it up really loud so you guys can hear it. All right, listen very carefully.
I don't much going. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Right there. Did you hear it? Dude, I am not kidding you. Listen one more time.
I didn't hear anything. I'll have to keep on listening, but I'm not hearing it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm hearing that. I am hearing that. And that is not something that I would normally fall for. You know what I mean? I would be like, no way is that happening. No way. Well, I heard it. If you guys want me to play it again a third time, I will. But there is a voice saying she killed us. And I don't know. Do you guys believe in that stuff? You know, that there's people that cross over and, you know, all I know is I heard the voice. That's all I know. And I was like, okay, those people are not lying. Not every TikToker is a liar. I couldn't believe that. All right. So other things I wanted to show you guys. Okay, the report. Well, you know what? I'll show you these videos of. The first one here is already the crash has happened. And Steve and Natalie were already in the hospital. They got notified. And then she goes through a bunch of surgeries, right? And then they come back when they realize that the police is like putting the heat on her. So they're two short videos.
Well, I mean, the bottom line would be, if you heard it, which I didn't, Shadow didn't hear it either, I don't think. But what do you think it means? Most importantly, what do you think it is?
Second one is the one I really want you to see, but I'm going to skip through this. Hold on. Let me go. Okay. This is just Natalie now. And then the second one has Steve in it.
I mean, to me, it wasn't clear at all. So some people can say it was clear, but I haven't heard it yet myself. So I'll have to re-listen again 100 times maybe to hear it.
We talked to the prosecutor's office. We talked about the specifics of the case and everything like that. They said give it all back, so we did. We don't have a use for it now.
Okay.
So that's what held with that.
Wait a second, let me get. What happens now? What am I doing?
Okay, well, Mackenzie's 18, so
The lawyer said they called and said that, you know, not to talk to any cops because she's legal counsel.
yeah, and we read her rights. She's 18. Yeah, we are not going to ask her any questions. We have nothing to ask her, so we're not going to ask her anything anyway. So when we're done with our booking process, she will likely be processed downtown. We'll transport her downtown.
I don't even know where downtown is. What even is that?
Yeah, well, and I don't know, did they move?
She'll be going to the Juvenile Detention Center.
I can just Google that in the map.
Google the Cuyahoga County Juvenile Detention Center. And then what happens there, we still don't know, because at the time of the crime, she was a juvenile. However, now she's 18. So there is a very good chance that they will process her in the Juvenile Detention Center and then send her to the Justice Center.
Where the 18 and overs are.
Where the adults
So they will like eat her alive.
So we're unsure how they're going to handle it, but that's their processes that have nothing to do with
Once
us.
we transport her downtown, you know, we don't have anything to do with how that process is going to work.
Where is she staying? Downtown? Wherever
She'll
downtown?
stay at either at the Juvenile Jail Center or the Justice Center,
Yeah.
one of the two,
Do you know
whatever.
what time she'll, like the time?
Right now, she's going. Within the next, I'd say 15 minutes.
I would say very
Okay.
soon.
She's fine. She's fine.
I know she's, when she got taken away, she was like, it's okay, I know this is just a tragedy. So, okay. So that's it, then I'm done with you guys?
That's it.
Yeah, and again, any other questions that you have, if you call here, we will say nothing.
Hey, I'm talking to the police. They gave me my phone back and she's actually getting transferred to juvie like in the next couple minutes. Okay. No, she knows, and they're not gonna ask her any questions anyway. They read her right, and she knows all that. I'm coming to the car. Bye.
So as the evening progresses, if you have questions, we can't answer any of the questions. We have to be referred to your
So apparently her father's not there yet. So maybe we didn't see this part yet. We saw the part with her dad, but not this part.
attorney, because the attorney talks to our prosecutor's office and all that, and they can work through those details. And anything to do with the detention home or our county, we have nothing to do with that. It's their process. So she's going to be out the door here soon and on the way down to county. And yeah.
So I look up, because I can't hear, juvenile detention downtown.
Cuyahoga County Juvenile Detention Center.
Okay.
It's on the east side of
Cuyahoga
Cleveland.
County Juvenile Detention.
Yeah.
Julie 78SW. That's not one of our Julies. Not Julie Reagan, Julie Bug, or Jules. Where has Jules been, by the way?
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
That's not furniture there.
Okay. So there's that one. And then there's a second one here. Hold on. It is of Natalie and Steve. And he starts going a little nuts.
But
All right. But some of the things he said, I think, are very enlightening.
And you guys have your phone.
It's not hers, it's mine.
And it's in the car, I got it on Find Phone, it's in your lock. So, but I need to speak to my daughter, because you guys aren't allowed to speak to her at all, that's from the lawyer. He does not want you guys speaking to her. And I can get him on the phone, he can tell you that over the phone if that works, or I can go in and tell her not to open her mouth. But how you guys did this on the weekends, just, well, you all you do is go, hey, there's a warrant for, we would have brought her right down here with no problem. It's just unbelievable. I mean, he's 18.
He's like a 40-something-year-old boy, is what he comes across as to me. Now, we have the benefit of seeing the text messages, so we see how he acts. But what is he, in his late 40s, early 50s, maybe? I think 40s. Probably 40s, right? But he seems like a 40-something-year-old boy.
it was issued today, so we executed it today. The warrant wasn't issued earlier.
Well, you could have made a phone call, couldn't you? You had your creeper out in front of my yard watching.
So, she can't take any, she's an adult, she can't take any phone calls right now. She'll be transferred.
She's an adult
down.
now.
Okay, I don't know when.
Service is called to advise.
She'll be transferred down.
Okay, well,
And here's the other thing, though. 18 is young to be considered an adult. Like, they are young. But here's the thing, though, right? I do agree it's young. So at the same rate, though, if you're allowed to go die in war at 18, I think just based on that principle alone, you should be able to do everything else, right? If you're old enough to die in war, you're old enough to do whatever. Imagine that. You can go die in war, but you can't rent a car. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. You can go die in war, but you can't drink a beer. Does that make sense? No. So, considering that, if 18 years old probably shouldn't be considered the same, but as it is, okay, whatever. But you can make an argument for maybe not until 21. 21 for everything. How about that? Perhaps. You can make an argument for that, perhaps. But it'll never happen. Because then you would say, well, then you can't vote, right? You can't vote between 18 to 21 either. How about that? The Democrats want you to be able to vote at 16, I've heard.
I still need to speak to my daughter, so she understands what her, not to say anything to you guys.
Okay, and I don't know about the phone. I would have to ask about that.
Can you go find it? It's mine, it's not hers. I mean, I do need it. I have other children.
And that's how we communicate.
Yeah, and that's how we communicate.
Okay, so
I do need my phone.
I mean, if had to roll out the whole mask to pick up an 18-year-old girl who can hardly walk out of a hospital visit,
Yeah.
it's just beyond me.
So we follow the law, and that's what we're doing today. So her, the phone that was in her hand is the one that we took, but I'd have to check with the detective to find out what's going on with that. I don't know the answer to that.
Can we find out? I do need it like right now.
Okay, let me at least
I have
ask.
another child.
No, I get it, I get it.
Oh, there it is.
Just gonna let-
Can you start
The confirmation of another child. We missed that one the first time around. I missed it, but she said it. Mackenzie has a little sister named Danielle. But you hear that? Her mother said, I have another child.
Thank you.
Then am I gonna be allowed to have a 2-minute conversation with her?
You cannot talk to her about these issues.
Why doesn't she get a
Well,
phone
she has
call?
legal
If you arrested her, why
representative.
don't she get a phone call?
She was just brought in. They're going to process her. As soon as they get the time for her to make a phone call, she will be able to make a phone call.
You just need to advise her. She has a lawyer.
She's a lawyer. She does have a lawyer.
She is 18 years old and she could speak
Yeah,
that.
but she's a dumb 18-year-old that just turned 18.
Well,
And you guys are, no,
She's dumb.
the folks, all the kids nowadays are dumb. And these guys are gonna take advantage of it. She's not allowed to speak to you guys. I'm telling you
Listen,
that
her
from her
attorney
lawyer.
can call us.
I just need
Don't ask her any questions. Not allowed to speak.
So how would Mr. Body Cam dude, how would he deal with Mackenzie talking to him the way that she talks to her dad? Right? That's a good example. You know he wouldn't put up with it, right? It's interesting how much you can tell just from someone's tone of voice and what they would put up with and not put up with.
Oh my God. Okay, so I agree with Steve on this. I think most 18-year-olds are dumb and their brains are not fully formed or anything. However, there comes an age when you know enough, you know right from wrong, especially when it comes to things like murder. Okay. And all the little decisions she made, about wanting to, oh gosh, guys. So I have an episode I'm going to do on one of the police investigators that his entire report is in chronological order. And in there is bombs left and right on this Mackenzie. And I cannot wait to do that episode. I'm going to probably do it this coming week. I feel so like it's crazy. It's like, I know there's a lot of content out there about this and I'm part of that. Like I'm on social media and I'm part of that. And I hate though when it gets to the point where there's like a million AI videos being made about a case. And then it makes us all of us talking head channels, real people that are actually talking to you and actually, trying really hard to use whatever knowledge we have and play you content and actually trying to get to the bottom of things. It just makes us all look really bad. And it's just like a million people out there now talking.
Do you think so? Do you think it makes us all look bad? The AI videos? I think people think the AI videos can be bad and they can be ridiculous. Yes. And yeah, we've watched them. We've watched David Attenborough, right? We've watched it. They make mistakes in there though. But do you think it kind of rubs off and makes everyone look bad? I don't know. I mean, press 1 if you think it makes all of us look bad. Press 2 if you think it really just is constrained to just the AI channels that make themselves look bad.
About this, and I feel like ick factor over it. Like I'm part of that. So I'm going to really be very selective about what I do. Plus, there needs to be respect for the victims and the families of the victims. So, you can't just use everything like TMZ coming out with the video showing of Dom's mother. It's just so rude. It is so disrespectful. It is so disgusting on all levels. And it's just, it's not necessary. And that is an example of clearly not caring about anybody but money. And I don't want to be a part of that. Of course.
Shadow and I think it's all about the community and the connection. That's what you're not going to get on a David Attenborough or some other AI, right? And that's even the advantage of going live too, by the way. You don't really get that if you're just recording a video. It's different. It's a different thing. But when there's interaction, that's a different ballgame, right? And I think in this day and age, that's what's going to be more valuable.
Of course, I have a channel and this is what I do. And it's like part of how I, I'm making money for myself. But I honestly, I'm totally fine. I'm not looking to blow up the YouTube world here. I'm just looking to do the right thing by people. And that's the whole reason why I started it. It's the whole reason why I started it. Before we go, I want to, but I'm going to do a whole video on that, and I'm going to be putting up an entire interview video on one of the witnesses that was a friend of Dom's, or was it Davian? No, it was Dom's friend. I'm going to be doing that. That'll be all coming up this week because it's not out there already. So I'll be putting that out. But I wanted to read to you the report, and my dog is crying again to get in, and it's driving me crazy. And every time I take this off to go open the door, it keeps you guys hanging, and I don't want to keep doing that to you guys. All right. So the report that is written here, I'm going to read it. And it is basically typed up by one of the investigators, and it sums up all the important moments of the text messages between just Dad and Mackenzie. And here we go. He writes that on page 8, 215, Mr. Shirilla texts Mackenzie and tells her to be careful what she drinks and smokes, and if there is a problem, he can come and help. Mackenzie responds to Dad with okay. Mackenzie asks her dad if he wants weed peanut butter. Mr. Shirilla tells Shirilla, no, LOL, I don't like to eat my weed. And I hate that he has a typo here because in the actual text messages, it's clear that it's weed. So unfortunately, the investigator had a typo. Anyway, Mackenzie responds.
The investigator should not be having a typo, especially the typo between week and weed. Come on now.
That she's going to give him a little. And Mackenzie asks her dad if he is okay. On the 3rd of March, Mr. Shirilla tells Mackenzie that he is okay and that he feels like he has a cold. And then Mackenzie says, okay, to be honest, you need weed. And that she is worried about him. She had suggested weed to him in part 1. She suggested weed to him as, medicine because he was sick. Yeah, can't make this stuff up.
This looks like a summary of all the text messages we just went over.
Mr. Shirilla says not to be worried and that he feels okay. And this is because it was during the time of COVID. Mackenzie yells at her dad for putting something on her vehicle and does so in an aggressive manner, which causes Dad to tell Mackenzie not to talk to him like that. And Mackenzie responds that she will talk to him however she wants until bumper stickers stop showing up on her vehicle. And I love this. I love reading this because this is the interpretation of the investigator. So these are his own words. So it's a little different hearing it from him. Mackenzie asks her dad where he put that vodka, to which Mr. Shirilla responds, on the counter where I showed it to you. Mr. Shirilla then sends Mackenzie a photograph of 2 T-shirts that read, oh, okay, this is important because some of the pictures we couldn't see, right? He sends Mackenzie a photograph of 2 T-shirts that read stoned. And the other T-shirt reads stoned too, almost as if he was suggesting that they buy the T-shirts as father and daughter that like to get stoned. Stoned 1, stoned 2, something out of Dr. Seuss, right? Thing 1, thing 2. So I'm so glad I pulled this up because this is important and we never really went over it because we couldn't see the pictures. Then he tells Mackenzie that he is going to...
That's the interesting part of this. They are describing the pictures. We didn't get the description in the text messages.
Get her and Dom these shirts. Mackenzie gets excited and tells him yes. Mr. Shirilla then tells Mackenzie that she would like it there, except that you need to be 21 to have all the fun. Mackenzie tells her dad to have her mom answer her text right now. And when Mr. Shirilla ignores Mackenzie, she asks him if he is really going to not help. To which Mr. Shirilla says, sorry, not getting involved. I'm just going to get mad. Mackenzie responds with, thanks for making this the worst birthday ever. And my dog will not stop crying. Do you guys want me to let Ruger in? Because it's driving me crazy. He's such a pain.
Why doesn't she just let him in anyway? Let him chill in the room. Shadow chills in the studio. Why can't the dog chill in the studio?
High maintenance, Ruger. It'll just take me a second. Come on, you stink.
Look at that yellow lab. What a handsome fella.
Gotta stop your crying. Lay down. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hold on. What a pain in my rump this dog is. You guys
Your lovely lady humps.
have no idea who has a lab on here, because let me tell you, they are such high maintenance dogs. Oh, goodness. Hold on. Gotta love him, right? Gotta love him. All right. Where was I? I hate when he does that because it throws me off. Well, I left it up here for you guys to read, which is good, but okay. Tells her dad, never drive my car without putting gas in it. Like, what the F? Mackenzie then continues to yell at him for not putting gas in the car through several text messages. And Mr. Shirella responds by saying, first, I took your car to get service, which I paid for, cleaned the inside of the car. He tells her he left a note and told her mother to mention that he forgot. Then he tells her that she owes him $74 for the service and $25 for the hour he had to sit and wait and waste his time for his disrespectful daughter. Then Mackenzie yells at her dad through a series of text messages about a school project, which he was helping her with. Mackenzie is mad that the paint is sticky and demands that he comes home and fixes it. After Mr. Shirella tells Mackenzie that they will fix it and to relax, she tells him, you better fix what you ruined or I will fail out of Polaris. I'm not sure how to say that. Mr. Shirella responds with, so, after which Mackenzie says, are you trying to say you're slow? Yeah. Mr. Shirella says that he is saying that when she speaks to him with disrespect, he doesn't care if she fails. And Mackenzie says that it's good to know that she can never ask him to do anything again and that he effed up her whole morning. And by the way, this is just 2 pages long, this thing I'm reading. It's going to be pretty quick. Then on 10:31, the investigator types up, Mackenzie asks her dad to get them White Claws or some crap from the gas station or Mike's Hard Lemonade. And Mr. Shirella says that he is in bed and has to get up early and it's Sunday. When Mackenzie again asks, can you bring us some, even the ones in the refrigerator, Mr. Shirella tells her to come get them. Yeah. Mr. Shirella then tells Mackenzie that mom will drop them off in a bit. Mother of the year, Natalie. Mother of the year. And then Mackenzie tells her father that he should retake his driving test because he literally hit a bench with her car. And Mr. Shirella reminds Mackenzie that he had to move the car because it was parked bad. He also reminded her that it's the car he pays for. And Mackenzie tells him to learn to drive and calls him an ass. And Mr. Shirella asks Mackenzie how many weeks would she not like to have her car for? Mr. Shirella tells Mackenzie that she drives like an ass and says, nice speeding ticket, hot rod. Mackenzie tells him that she got searched and that there were 5 cop cars. Lovely. And Mackenzie asks for Starbucks. Mr. Shirella runs errands before getting the drink and food, and Mackenzie yells at him over several messages and calls him dumb. Mr. Shirella tells Mackenzie that if she takes the car, he will call the police and tells them she stole it and that she is not driving. Wait, sorry. Let me reread that. Mr. Shirella tells Mackenzie that if she takes the car, he will call the police and tell them that she stole it and that she is not driving today, so she better go back inside. And then Mackenzie tells her dad she will show the police the text message, to which he responds, you're 17 and I'm your father and I told you not to take the care. Whose side do you think they are going to side with? Interesting. There's a typo in here, it looks like. Mackenzie tells her dad that if he does that, okay, if he calls the police and all that, that she will show the police the text message. Oh, so there's a text message that she's holding over his head. It could have been any one of the text messages already about him condoning or bringing her liquor or the vodka or, I mean, right? So now she's saying, I'm going to show the police. And by the way, that's a common thing today, guys. Kids, they'll be like, if you do something to me, I'm going to call the police and say you're abusing me. You know, something like that. It could have just been something along those lines. All right. To which he's responding back to her You're 17 and I'm your father, and I told you not to take the.
That actually maybe sounds more likely to me than SA. Maybe it's more likely that she would emotionally blackmail him and say, hey, I'm going to tell people that you're SAing me or abusing me. I think that is more likely, actually. Just knowing Mackenzie, right? Because there's other people that, they would never even dream to think that. But Mackenzie, she would dream to think that. And then she would use it to her advantage to exploit others.
Car. Whose side do you think they are going to side with? Honestly, guys, they would have sided with her. Because she's a minor.
Correct. And she absolutely would have used that to her advantage. And that's why I said earlier, folks, right? You got to be careful with just the, it's a kid or a girl, just believe them. I say you got to trust but verify for reasons like this. And then people would say, well, you shouldn't have to do that. And it's like, well, unfortunately, there's people like Mackenzie. Unfortunately, there's people like that DoorDash girl. So you have to sometimes, because there are a percentage that are just out of their minds.
And if she had showed any of these text messages to the police, like the one, where's the vodka? It's on the counter, he tells her. He would have been taken away in cuffs. He would have. She would have won. She would have won. So on the 19th, Mackenzie tells her dad not to effing eat fast food in her car and then leaves trash in the car and all that jazz. We just read about that. Trying to see if there's anything else we didn't know. Mackenzie tells him to have fun in his closet when he gets home because his garbage is in there. Dad tells Mackenzie to think twice before pissing him off or she won't have a car. All right, so that's pretty much the report that is in the FOIA and was being used in her.
But you guys all know, right? If Mackenzie said that of her dad, they would probably believe Mackenzie. And then the dad, to his discredit, I guess, or his poor luck at the same time, would be his ass would be grass. Everyone would believe her. And people would be calling for the wood chipper, as they say, right? Shadow says, yep, they'd be calling for the wood chipper. Meanwhile, she's lying, right? But again, in this climate, though, good luck defending a Steve from false allegations. This is not going to go well. That dude that from the DoorDash footage, I mean, he's lucky in a way that she posted it and told on herself.
Case, this stuff all will remain there because the girl is appealing. And by the way, newsflash, Kim Kardashian has responded to Mackenzie Shirilla. We all know that in the calls, Mackenzie Shirilla talks about maybe Kim Kardashian will come to her rescue. Maybe she'll take the case and contact her. Well, Kim Kardashian has spoken out. There's several news articles about it. She wants nothing to do with you, Mackenzie. I'm sorry. She will not be taking on your case. She probably watched the crash like everybody else and saw that you are an absolute psycho, that you are a murderer. And no, Kim Kardashian's not going to come out of the woodwork and help you. She's not going to do that. So anyway, it was so fun being here with you guys today. You guys have any questions? You know what? I'm not going to leave just yet. Go ahead right now. Post your questions if you have any or comments that you want to say to me. I will wait a minute or two to see if there's anything here. Did you like this video? Because it really does help to push it out. People need to see these texts. They need to not only hear them, they need to see them. I went through every single one just between Steve and Mackenzie. I have all the text messages between Rosie and her. Also, there's so much stuff here. Oh my gosh. So much stuff here.
And keep in mind, Shadow said, Jared, remember, your flock of black sheep is good. We're on the ball in here. But outside of the community, there are some people that are defending Mackenzie, by the way. And I don't know if they just don't know all the information or what, but not only are they saying they don't think she did it intentionally, they're saying, oh no, she's not even narcissistic. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? She's not narcissistic. You must not know the information to say something like that. But Danielle saw it in the shorts. People are ripping me. No, she's clinically insane from drug use. It's like, no. Drug use, weed, and alcohol is not an excuse for murder. It also does not make you clinically insane either. But that's what people were saying. So those kinds of people are out there. And I wanted to warn you that they're out there too.
But please, please, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Mucho appreciated. I'm still going to wait and see if anybody's got a question for me or anything they want to say. I have not even scrolled through these comments. I have no idea what you guys have been talking about. Let me see. Yeah, Steve. I hope he wakes up too. Here's the other thing, guys. These two nitwits, they have another daughter to raise. And I think it would go a long way if they just stopped appealing. Start, coming out and saying, look, our daughter messed up and she needs to pay for it. It would go a long way. It really would. Anybody can turn their life around, right? And I hope they're watching because there are people out there that won't ever forgive them because they don't have, forgiveness in their heart at all. But, I think Christine Russo would appreciate it if, A, they just give up and admit that their daughter made terrible choices and that they didn't do the right things by her. And 3, that they just stop appealing. And not only that, think about what that's doing to the other daughter. By you continuing this on and continuing to fight something that is a losing battle, we all know that, you're taking away the precious years you have with your other daughter who you can make things right with.
It's funny though, right? Because you don't hear them say too much about her. Not in the phone calls, not in the text messages. In the text messages, you would never know by how Mackenzie talks that she has another sister. She's acting just like an only child, right? Do this, do this, do this, do that. I wonder if her father would have said, you have a little sister too. And she needs my love and support as well, right? It's just not all supposed to be hoarded by you. That would have been a legitimate thing to say by her dad as well.
You can maybe make a difference, right? This one's a bad egg. Mackenzie's a bad egg. I don't know if that girl will ever change. Because what we're hearing is she is the same person in prison. Still with her, duck lip, selfie pictures, makeup, sugar daddies. Like it's like a sugar daddy website or something that she's connected to. That's what I'm hearing. Still getting caught in prison with things. She's got a rap sheet already just from the prison that she is in, making mistakes left and right. She's a bad egg. Steve and Natalie, wake up. You have another child. You have another child to raise. There's a couple precious.
Moms for Justice is exactly right. She's a bad egg. I think her parents enabled it and contributed to it, but it's very likely she was a bad egg anyway. That's where I know some people would disagree with me, the environmental folks, but I think she just is. She's a bad egg. Some of that is her parents' fault, but certainly not all of it.
Years, maybe you can make a change and do something good. And I'm not saying don't love your daughter. I'm not.
And Alexander, that's a perfect point, right? So if you don't have empathy, how are your parents supposed to give you empathy? The most that you can do as a parent, if your child has that innate deficiency in empathy, which psychopathic people do have, by the way, they have less gray matter in the brain, in the parts of the brain responsible for empathy. The most you can do as a parent at that point is teach cognitive empathy. So, okay, this is what's going on in this situation. Your actions affect other people, etc. But you're not going to feel it. You don't feel it. Her actions sure show she doesn't feel it. So it's a tough battle. I mean, if you're a parent and you have someone like that as a kid, that's an uphill battle, let me tell you. It's not easy.
Saying don't love Mackenzie. You can visit her and love her, of course. Of course. You know, no matter how terrible something my child could do, I would always be there, visit them. I'm the only person they got. You know, my husband and I would be the only person that they have. So I get that. But don't enable her anymore. Say, I'm sorry, but you made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. I did not mean to say it like that.
And that being said, yeah, her parents should definitely stop enabling her and being a doormat and letting themselves be controlled and walked all over. Absolutely. Now, that won't change the insides of Mackenzie, but that's basically teaching her behavior modification. And if anything's going to help, what else would? Maybe psychiatric medication, maybe antipsychotics. But again, if you have a personality disorder, an antipsychotic's not going to touch that. It's not going to treat that. It's not going to treat your poor character. It's not going to treat your entitledness and your selfishness and your lack of empathy. In fact, in some ways, if it makes you feel less, you might even be worse in a way.
Murder is not a mistake. What I meant was you messed up and you got to pay the piper now for it. Okay. And there's a lot of people in pain for this crash, for this murder. And it would go a long way if the parents would just say, look, I can't back you anymore. I'll love you, but I'm not going to back you and I'm not going to support you. And I'm not going to continue a crusade to try to say that you are innocent or that it was an accident over a murder. That would go a long way. I just wanted to say that. So anyway, checking here before I said. Okay. All right. Looks like there's nothing else. Nobody has any questions. Thank you so much, Marsha. Thank you, guys. Havasu. I think it's good that we don't hear about the other child a lot. Yes. Hey, Ruth Ann. They need to quit enabling her. Yeah. I mean, things happen for a reason. Maybe losing his job was, that they wouldn't have the money to be able to fight. Based on his interview, he doesn't believe they did anything wrong. He'll never change. Neither will his wife. And that may be true. There are people out there.
Well, the first step to changing is admitting there's a problem. If you can't admit there's a problem, there will be no change. It sounds simple because it is, but it's very complicated for people, personality disordered people, unless they're borderline. I've seen borderlines be able to admit they have a problem, but many of the other ones in the cluster B, they just don't admit it. And if you don't admit it, you never even start the process of change. You never put any footwork in because you don't think you're the problem. The problem's always somebody else. That's just why it becomes so difficult.
I'm praying that they're going to see the light here. Minnie, hey, thanks for joining me. Exactly. She will never admit. Yeah, I mean, her especially, I think, is such a lost cause. And I hate saying that. But I just think that there's just pure evil behind her. And
she needs a spiritual awakening is what she would need, a spiritual rebirth / transformation. But she needs to bottom out. And honestly, if she hasn't bottomed out already, I don't know if she ever will.
And it's always been that way. And she's just a bad egg, man. She's just bad. Hi, Paris. No more gourmet food and I wants. Yeah. Like, I want this. I want that. Yep. Yep. All right. I think we are done here for today. I will be back on very soon. Hit the notification bell on Moms for Justice so you get my next live and my next video upload. Also, like I said, and I always say, make sure you smash the like button and
All right. So that's Moms for Justice. I'm going to invite her on the channel at a point. She seems cool to me. I know a couple folks don't like her, but I think she's good. She's informative. We'll talk to her at a point if we can. As for the rest of the folks here, please remember to like the video because likes are free. Spank the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And say hi and bye to the flock of black sheep here in the live chat. We always got a great group of folks in here. Glad Miss Amanda found us. Amanda found us from that girl Melly. That girl Melly had been in the chat before. I made a guest appearance in her chat the other day, which was fun. Yeah, I think so. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to post. I prefer not to be number 3 in the chat. What is that? What does number 3 mean? Makes me uncomfortable. I feel like I've seen others post more. Oh, does it actually? Don't worry about that, Miss Amanda. I think the numbers are wrong anyway. So I don't even see what the numbers are. So everyone can speak freely in my eyes. The only time that's not true is if someone becomes antagonistic and disrespectful. I don't like that. But the people that are here are not that way. So Shadow and I appreciate everyone that's here. Yeah, you're all good, Miss Amanda. We would tell you. We would tell you if not. But all right, folks, it's about time to rock and roll here. Thank you very much for all the support. So Snoop, Autumn, TJ, Dana, Jane, Wendy, Jackie, Danielle, Colo, Lisa, Miss Amanda, Rooster, Teresa, Julie Bug, Alexander the Great, Just Pepper, Christy, Lydia, Linda, Jane, meet Jane, Nanny Goat, you have to lasso in your other Australian buddy, Sweet Caroline. You got it, Miss Amanda. Thank you again for stopping on by. You're welcome anytime. All right, guys. Shadow and I appreciate everyone. Have a great night, Jackie. Glad you're here. Glad you're doing well, too, most importantly. Have a great night, Danielle. Thank you. Well, we don't call ourselves the Night Owls for nothing, do we? D, we do not. D, you got to find your other cahoots brother or cahoots woman, DD. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you again.